What's good, man? God damn. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it's been an eternity since I've been on here, bro. I honestly can't even remember the last time I went live. Like, we're gonna have to get everything back in motion, but it's a lot to talk about today. You feel what I'm saying? We got some theories. You feel me? And I was gonna talk about just the theories today, but as y'all see in the title, it's a lot going on with academics TV, the whole Drake propaganda machine looking it's looking kind of spooky over there. All right, so while my boy Browser, you know what I'm saying, take some time to get in here, we're gonna be looking into that. Hey, Easy McConan, what's up, boy? Rob Justice, what's good? It's me, UK. What up? Yup, Easy McConan. I'm saying, bro, it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky. It's getting spooky out here, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But we about to look into it real quick. I don't know where Brawls are at. I sent him the link already. Oh, here we go. Hey, what's good, my dude?
What's good, bro? Hear me?
Yeah, how you feeling?
What's good, man? Good. How you living?
I'm good, bro. Nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been on here in a minute. Oh, yeah, the saxophone. Yep, the saxophone's getting louder. Hey, before we get to the theory, I actually wanted to talk about something else. All right. Hey, Oakland Ja in the building. What up, boy? My boy Oakland Ja, what's good, man? Spurs in 7? I don't know about that one, buddy. I don't know about that one. But, bro, you been seeing this shit about the Drake propaganda machine?
I seen something on the timeline today about that one, the dude that runs that one Academics TV page.
Academics TV? Before we get into your videos and shit, I wanted to look into that real quick because I've been seeing these clips, but
hey, I'm not gonna lie. I started protecting my peace a little bit. I'm muted like as many Drake stands as I could find on Twitter. Not gonna lie. I still see some stuff here and there.
This nigga said, "What the hell? That ain't Bill. I'm crying." Nah, bro just made a YouTube. You feel what I'm saying? We finna go over these couple of these videos. These are some solid ass theories. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna trade theories after we look into this real quick. But bro, check this shit out, bro. This shit is getting crazy. Hold on, man. So the Rock Supremacy said, looks like Charlemagne is applying pressure to Academics TV. He has him on audio panicking and being concerned that his house is going to be invaded. Academics and Academics TV are the loudest voices behind the Rock Nation TV conspiracies. Now, if you ain't been living under a damn rock, and like obviously some of y'all ain't even on social media, so I don't even know what's going on. But I'm talking like every day for the last 2 years, this Academics TV page has been pushing the most outlandish propaganda against Rock Nation TV. They still doing it right now. The dudes like Jared and all them dudes, they pushing crazy. You feel what I'm saying? And they ended up getting into it with Charlemagne. So Academics and Charlemagne ended up getting into it. and all of a sudden you see these articles, right? Or these videos of Charlemagne saying some questionable stuff in the past, boom, boom. Clearly getting to shooting at Charlemagne on some smear campaign shit, right? Charlemagne start responding on this podcast, like slowly just dropping little hints at certain shit, right? And every time he respond, it get worse. So today, he talking about I ain't seen the clip. I only seen about a few seconds of the clip. But apparently, there's some audio of Academics and Academics TV panicking, or Academics TV panicking, thinking his house is going to be invaded. So let's take a look at this.
I'm going to tell you what's funny, though.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
What you got?
I got to work on my gulp when I'm nervous.
Hold on. What you got?
No, man, I'm just saying. I saw some panicking last week.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Tell me now.
I saw some panicking.
Tell me now.
Yo. Can you ask whoever edited the episode not to dox my pick? Charlotte mentioning crypto, not trying to get my home invaded. Oh shit! Oh shit! Hold on.
Who's panicking?
I saw some. Hold on. Said I'm cooperating and that I stole $4 million from Ack. Was a 3-hour call from Sharla, and Ack was like he was mad because he no longer controls narratives, and Ack's clips all over the timeline. Then said he's a part of it. Sharla working with them and it's Rock Nation.
Now hold
Was
on.
a 3-hour call from Sharla, and Ack was like he was mad because he no longer controls narratives.
Now look, y'all don't find it. Hold on. Y'all don't find this very interesting. Okay, I ain't brought this theory to YouTube. It's on my Patreon, but y'all don't find this interesting, right? That all of a sudden, all of these things have been coming out about academics and all this different fraudulent shit. And it's right after Jay-Z decides to commit his first act of offense since like the interview we talked about doing offense. Now all of a sudden you got Charlemagne cracking down on academics on Academics TV. All of a sudden, niggas got calls of everybody panicking and all this different stuff. I feel like it's something going on behind the scenes where Drake and company are trying to appear like they still have control of things, but in reality, everything seems to be collapsing. And when I look at this and I see what Charlemagne is talking about, this dude is basically saying that academics is frustrated because he no longer controls the narratives on social media. And if that's the case, you got to think about it from a hierarchy standpoint. If this guy is working with this guy and this guy is working with this guy in order to make sure that narratives are controlled, what do you think is going to happen to that guy when he don't got control of the narratives no more? I'm just saying. How you feeling about that, Zach?
I mean, I've been kind of saying it for a little while, bro. I think like I'm not trying to get you boomed or nothing, so I'll try and keep it like kind of light. I think Drake and a certain agenda and a certain administration are very aligned, and they follow very similar playbooks. And this is something that happened, like that the administration has done to try and it's very similar. It's the whole like kick the can down the road, right? Whereas like it's like, oh hey, like, oh, stay tuned for what's going on next, hey, all this shit, right? And like I feel like that's maybe a reason why those albums weren't coming out for so long. Like it felt like the can was just getting kicked down the road, because like they're just trying to preserve whatever's left, you know what I mean? That's my take on it. I don't know, like I try and like draw parallels and shit. And I think especially with like media, and we're talking all the powers that be, a lot of shit that we don't know about. Like I just, it's just like there's a lot of parallels for sure.
Yeah, and I think especially when you start making the connection of like the Melissa Nathans of the world and how she's actually created some of these campaigns for both parties.
Yeah.
So it's like for Drake and the Republican Party, Donald Trump, et cetera, right? So it's almost like, the playbook is coming from PR firms. And even when you had Jeremy Heck coming out and talking about Act being funded by True Social and all this different stuff, it's like, damn, it's getting very interesting to see, like, it seems like the walls are closing in. Like I've been saying, some people, a lot of content creators, media have been feeling like, damn, did Drake prove everybody wrong? Boom, boom. And in my mind, I feel like everything Drake has been doing and these guys have been doing has been from a place of panic, and not really from a place of. You know what I mean?
I don't mean to cut you off, but like I think it's like, not only is he not proving everybody wrong, bro, he's proving everybody right.
Low key.
Like people have been saying this shit for a long time, and like I've seen parallels too on like he's proven Kendrick right too about like basically everything.
A lot of shit.
Like, hey, and you know what's crazy? I was thinking about this recently, and like obviously I'm not like, we're all on Twitter and like and it's a new narrative every day and all this shit, but like again, they're like trying to attach on to whatever they can, but like I saw people like Drake fans like trying to bash Meet the Grams the other day. I'm like, guys, you don't want to bring that song back to the timeline, bro.
Oh yeah, no, not right now.
Well, but the thing is though, is like, and I feel like when a lot of like casual listeners, like people who aren't really like tuned in and tapped into shit, when they hear Meet the Grams and like when it comes to the Drake propaganda machine, like I feel like they kind of succeeded in making people think that when they hear the name Meet the Grams, they instantly just think of the daughter shit, right?
Yes.
But like,
go.
But like,
yes.
but like, bro, and I think about this all the time. I'm like, dog, that daughter shit is the least damning thing about that track, bro. Like,
Yo,
it is.
You know what's crazy? That same, bro, I remember exactly where I was when that song came out. I was with the homies. Family Matters had just came out, and we was arguing, right? Because some of the homies was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Kendrick kind of in trouble with this one. This shit crazy, blah, blah. And I remember when that shit dropped, bro, and listening to it, boom, boom, and then thinking about all the things that Kendrick is talking about. And I'm like, oh, this nigga just kind of like pulled the exposing the industry type move thing, right? And then Drake goes on Instagram, immediately says, wait, where's this daughter? And I'm like, that's a great fucking play. Because even as much as wild as it was, it's like, that was a genius thing to do, the misdirection, right? We talking about trafficking, streamline, like all this different other crazy shit. And what you do is highlight the least, really the least defamatory thing in the song, and it creates the conversation around that rather than everything else. So now everybody's talking about, where's the daughter at, man? Instead of all the other shit.
Who does that remind you of? Who else has run that shit?
Right. And it's like, from that moment forward, I think even Heart Part 6, all of that felt like PR firm moves, not even really getting involved, not really even battling. Like Heart Part 6 was like narrative control more than it was battling. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know.
And that's why, like, again, something else I'll kind of call out with the parallels. Like, have you ever noticed that, like, and especially now with this age of social media, and I've been thinking this and I haven't really like articulated it. So like, you know, I might not like choose my words correctly here. But like, have you ever noticed how like people on like a line with like kind of the Drake propaganda machine and like the Trump administration, all this shit, they like call other people out for things that they are huge offenders of. You know what I mean? Like, and like they do it to the point where like you're reading it and you're like, wait, what? Like, you're saying that? You know? It's like when you hear, you know, politically, you hear like Trump affiliates, whatever, talk about like, you know, talk about the stuff with like underage stuff. I'm like, right. Wait, you're saying that? Like, yeah, and it's almost like that's the Drake and that's where the narratives about the bot shit came from, bro.
Literally.
Bro, it's been known for a long time that Drake bots his music. Like that's not a debate, right? Like people have been talking about that since like 2017, 2018.
Prior to the battle.
Like way prior to the battle. But so like now it's like, wait, you're pointing fingers about, wait a minute. You know what I mean? But they do that for misdirection. Yeah. And it's like, it's literally to take the focus off of the conversation that's supposed to be had. And that's what I'm saying. It's crazy how I can't lie and say they don't do a decent job. They do a pretty decent job because and I think that's the point of why they try to push the anti-intellectualism on their audience. It's not really so like, I think it's more about, it's easier to push this type of propaganda and make you not connect the dots or critically think if we're also promoting that critically thinking is a negative thing, or that critically thinking isn't cool, or that you looking into it too deep, or that all these different things. It's like perfect. And my boy Easy McConan, look at how many right-wingers attack people. They go straight to virtue signaling or calling out hypocrisy. Nobody uses cancel culture and virtue signaling more than that side. And that's the whole thing. It's like they expect. It's funny because now that you say that, this is the thing. It's like they expect. It's not like they're not really connected to reality. Like they expect people who are supporting this or whatever to say, oh, you did that, so now we got to cancel this person, boom, boom. Because that's how they perceive that whoever they deem as like the political opposite or whatever
interacts with celebrities or whatever, right? But then when it doesn't work, it's just like, oh wow, well y'all look, y'all. For example, Jay-Z. It's like, oh y'all doing all this for Jay-Z, but y'all wasn't doing that for Drake. Boom boom, all this different shit. And it's like it's all literally tactician shit, propaganda. Everything that they do is centered around that. So the fact that Academics is coming out, maybe not publicly, but it's coming out and saying that he's lost control of the narrative. I ain't gonna lie, niggas finna start looking dark because that's your job, and you can't do your job. I'm like, anybody who you're protecting by doing your job, when you stop doing that job, they gonna stop protecting you. And that's what Charlamagne is saying here. Like, why would I keep protecting you and you can't even do your job no more? You better figure out a way to get these narratives. Academics' narratives have gotten lazy as fuck. They've gotten extremely lazy. And I get it. It's been 2 years. Like, it's so you can only go so long making shit up and making things connect for 2 years nonstop. Like, it's way easier to do that when you lean in on the truth. When you lean in on false shit, you can't do that for that long. But let's go ahead and finish this up and then get to these theories.
And Axe clips all over the timeline. Then said he's a part of it. Charlotte working with them and this Rock Nation, trying to harass with lawsuits because no way any of these lawsuits and investigations real. Haven't spoken to anyone. Axe said it's Charlotte.
Where are you getting this?
How you throw your man under the bus?
Where you getting this information?
Yo, George Wynn, how you throw your man under the bus? Oh, Act called me right away after telling me he's capped. And then a day later, Jeremy Heck comes out with the same info that Charlotte has, saying Act funded by Republicans and Drake is Trump funded. And he's also doxing me. So Act tells me take the gloves off.
What?
What the fuck, George?
That's George texting that?
George Wynn?
Yeah, it's over.
I think
It's
that
over.
that dude was
It's
always
over.
supposed to be the fall guy. Had to be.
Oh yeah. But I'm like, damn, y'all didn't put nothing in place to make sure, like damn, y'all didn't like to make sure it's over with. He giving you niggas up all the way. Like, it's over. So I ain't gonna lie, it's about to get very interesting to see these next. We got one more minute left.
George,
hold on.
Why doesn't George want his picture out?
How do you?
But why doesn't George Wynn want his picture out? How can George?
Hey, them niggas putting the picture right there is crazy. Yo,
George Wynn want his picture out. How can George get on Academics TV? How can George get on the internet and have all of these people say the most salacious, wild shit about folks, but he doesn't want his pics out? He thinks people are doxing him? Are you serious? And why? Why is he so afraid of crypto?
What's wrong? Why?
I don't know.
I feel like when you're saying why
he said, Charlotte mentioning crypto, not trying to get my home invaded. Why would your home get invaded?
Oh,
George Wynn in Australia? Why would your home get invaded?
George Wynn in Australia.
That's crazy.
Why would your home get invaded? I just don't understand why his home would get invaded, Schultz. I'm just trying to figure this out, man.
Yo, them niggas, that's the energy of, right, exactly. That's the face of a nigga who, like, know it, like you see this nigga looking at him like, bro, they both know exactly what they talking about, asking them rhetorical ass questions, but trying to act like they don't know what they talking about. That's what's going on right here. Like, I ain't gonna lie, this shit fried, boy. This shit fried. It's over. Oh man, hey, Shah Lamar, hey, Jalabi Evil laugh hysterical. Yeah, Tasha's fun. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Man, I've been saying it in a couple of my videos, bro. Okay? I just feel like Drake and company been playing a little too fucking much. Like, it's one thing, and I think specifically Drake, right? It's one thing to be, vengeful and trying to get your get back and trying to find a way to get back into the graces of the internet and all these different things, right? That's one thing. It's another thing to start playing around with dead legends and dead ancestors and playing with artifacts and like, nigga, you moving around like, you know what I'm saying? Like Christopher Columbus and all these dudes like playing around with memorabilia that's extremely important to Black culture or in general. When you talking about melting down Pharrell's chains, when you flexing Tupac's rings, it's a dead man. When you flexing Michael Jackson's glove, that's a dared man with a very powerful energy, very powerful soul. Like you playing around with some very, very, like it can't go. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Like it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I think over time, we're gonna watch this shit. And we probably headed towards a historical crash out. I'm not gonna lie. Like, so anyway, I definitely wanted to just point out that real quick. But hey, man, let's get to the real reason why we're here. You feel what I'm saying? My guy dropped some theories. You feel me? So we're gonna trade theories back and forth. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get to this. I don't know if y'all what's it called? Y'all heard that Imani fire, by the way. Tough. That Imani project that PG Lang, the artist that PG Lang just came out and signed.
You thrown it on the car yet?
The what?
Have you thrown it on in the car yet?
Huh?
Have you thrown it on in the car? Have you listened in the car?
No.
Imani. It's better.
It's tough. It's better in the car. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, because you know that's the type of shit. Like it was fire, and I fuck with it too. But I was in the middle of playing Blueprint and shit. Like, but I'm a definitely play it in the car too. But that shit is tough. If you ain't seen my reaction, y'all definitely go fuck with the Patreon. $5 only. I got the reaction on there. I really dropped 4 reactions yesterday. I dropped the Ab-Soul freestyle, YG and Ab-Soul and JID Blueprint 2 reaction, and then the Kendrick Lamar leak without Rayvon and J-Rock, which is going. They trying to pat me up on Twitter, which is hilarious. But let's do which one you want to do.
Well, it goes in order. So like, it's funny because like when I initially messaged you, I just had the one, and it kind of just like went down a rabbit hole, you know.
That's how it be.
How it goes.
Yeah, that's how it be. So we gonna start here?
Yeah, hold on. Go to the top. I got a playlist. Then they're all in order.
Okay, bet. All right. So go from video 1 to video 5?
Yep. They're all
pretty right, man. Let's get it. So this is, could PG Lang be dropping another new artist? I have been saving my reaction specifically for right now. So I haven't seen these videos yet. And but I know my boy be putting the pieces together. You know what I'm saying? We was with it. It was me, you, and I think it was me, you, Vil, and somebody else when we was putting together the All Eyes on Me theory. So I know this shit gonna be good. Let's get it though. Make sure my volume up. All right, let's get it. You clipping game, turn down your mic. All right, bet. Shout out, we are the Cypher. Hey, by the way, the Cypher going down today, y'all. Make sure y'all pull up. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. We having some great conversations. The lineup is fire. All right, let's get it, man.
What if Kendrick Lamar and PG Lang are about to be dropping another brand new artist? So I'm sure you've seen by now that PG Lang just debuted a brand new R&B artist named Imani with her debut album, Paper Cuts. If you haven't yet, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's a fire project, great for the summer. Now, I'm sure you've probably also seen that Jay-Z is back outside. So I was watching Jason's video about Jay-Z in the mix, about how big of a deal it would be for a big New York album right now. Shout out Jason, I'll link this video in the description. But it really got me thinking about how New York doesn't really have any big, young, mainstream acts right now that are dropping highly anticipated albums.
Yeah.
Besides the legacy acts, there really aren't any young, heavy-hitting artists out of New York that would really shake shit up if they announced an album. So what that got me thinking about is, I think that there's clearly a gap that can be filled there. Now, let's think about what PG Lang is doing. What did they just do? Well, they shadow dropped a brand new artist with an entire album out of nowhere.
Crazy.
Right? There's no rollout, no promo. There's a brand new artist with an entire album. Like, when people were learning about who Imani is, her album is ready for you to listen to it. Now, I think when a lot of people think about a label owned by a West Coast artist, especially someone like Kendrick, who has really kind of put the West back in front of everything, obviously over the last couple of years, putting out GNX, obviously like Baby Keem also being from Vegas out on the West Coast. I think people naturally may expect their signees to be from the same region, at least initially.
Yeah, definitely.
What did they just do? They signed an R&B act from the Netherlands.
Oh,
right?
shit.
So they've shown.
I didn't know she was from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
That's why she got a little accent in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter to them where the artist is from. And what we also learned is that Imani has been signed to PG Lang since 2024. So what that shows is that they're willing to invest time and effort into artist development, and they won't debut an artist to the world until they feel they're ready. So that's important context of the theory. But now that that's out of the way, let's get back to New York. So like we established earlier, the younger generation in New York doesn't really have someone who is clearly the guy, and there's a gap that can be filled. Now, PG Lang also just showed us that they slow cooked a brand new artist for the past 2 to 3 years under wraps that nobody knew anything about until her debut album was out and released. So what if PG Lang has another brand new artist waiting in the wings? And what if it's a New York rapper?
I knew he was going there. Oh, shit. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. You cooking right now. Let me see. Okay.
New York sound.
Okay.
So now let's take a look at the PG Lang mood board. So for anyone out there who may be unfamiliar with a mood board or have never seen one before, it's basically just like a bunch of abstract images, inspiration, things that artists and creatives use, to draw certain aesthetics, certain inspiration, and really kind of like get like visually match their ideas, to help inspire them. So this was posted in October of 2023. Now, one thing I noticed is if you take a look at the names in this black cursive handwriting style. So this first one I'm going to zoom into is Dizzlemania. So Dizzle is one of Kendrick's nicknames. MacWop, if you're unfamiliar, is someone in Kendrick's camp, affiliated with TDE. He's got a YouTube channel, does live streams. Check him out if you haven't looked into him before. But he's a close friend with Kendrick, and he's affiliated with him. And MacWop has referred to Kendrick as Dizzle. So this again was posted in October of 2023. So this was well before the beef.
All right.
So Dizzlemania sounds like it's him winning the beef, doing the pop out, dropping GNX, doing the Super Bowl, record-breaking tour, 10 Grammys in the last 2 years. And this is kind of forecasting, kind of like manifesting. This was a piece of their plan. Now, if we scroll down here a little bit, we'll now see Booman Erie. So we've also learned that Booman is one of Baby Keem's nicknames.
Right.
If you watch the Casino documentaries, you obviously have heard him referred to as Booman several times. He, references that multiple times throughout the Casino album. But then also there was a scene in the Casino documentary that said PG Lang Erie Times.
Right.
So now we've got Kendrick as Dizzlemania. We've got Baby Keem as Booman Erie on this mood board. But now let's take a look at this other one. Imani and I don't want to say this wrong. I can't fully
shit.
read it. It looks like it might be
Okay.
Homme, H-O-M-M-E. If it's different than that, or if this has been confirmed as something else, like drop it in the comments. Let me know. But point is that Imani is on this mood board.
Yeah.
Right. And again, this was posted in October of 2023. So again, we've learned, and and we know that Imani was signed to PG Lang in 2024, but she's been affiliated with them since at least 2023.
Right.
Right. So that's really telling us that they've been working with Imani for at least 3 years and did not release the album and did not debut her to the world, until 2026. So full on 3 years. So basically, like, what they were doing, and with these artists here, they're basically they forecasted what they were planning to do with these 3 artists written in the black cursive handwriting.
Oh,
right, now here's the crazy
shit.
part. Let's look over at the left side of the board.
Yeah.
You might notice something else written in the same black cursive handwriting style.
Ooh, hold on, I gotta pause it. Hold on, bruh. You wanted something. He said, "Who is speaking? What's his at?" That's bro right here.
That's me.
As a matter of fact, I got his YouTube pin. So if y'all want to go listen, y'all want to go subscribe and all that, and watch the rest, the other videos. Make sure y'all subscribe. I got it pinned for you if y'all can see it.
Appreciate that.
But damn, nah. Because I'm seeing where you going. I'm like, I see, because I remember you kind of scrolled past it like a minute ago. And I'm like, once you got to the Imani part, I'm like, oh, shit. All right.
Now, if we look at the whole photo, these are the only 4 things written in this style. Right? You've got Boo Man Erie, you've got Dizzlemania, you've got Imani, and then you've got this 4th one. These are the only 4 things. Obviously, there's a lot of things on this image, on the board, but these are the only 4 written in this specific handwriting style. The other 3 are the 3 artists signed to PG Lang. So what is this 4th one?
Oh, shit.
Now, let's get back to New York. Remember we said that there's a gap for a young superstar? Remember how PG Lang just shadow dropped a brand new artist with their debut album out of nowhere? And what is right under the handwriting? It's Ready to Die by Biggie, aka one of the biggest debut albums from a New York rapper in history.
Oh no, I gotta pause it again. Hold on, man. Hold on. Time out, dog. Nah, you cooking. Bruh. That shit crazy. So the 4th name got Ready to Die sitting right over it. What the fuck?
Bro, this has been in front of our face for 3 years, bro.
Yo! Nah, come on.
I can't really read it. I don't know exactly what this says. If you can read this, or if this has been confirmed somewhere else, if you know what this says, drop it in the comments, let me know. But I think this could be a brand new New York rapper signed to PG Lang that they're going to debut. And I think that Imani's debut was a test run for them to see what the response was to a debut like this, and potentially run a similar playbook with this artist.
We're gonna be consistent. We're gonna be here. We're here to stay. Yeah, we're gonna be coming in hot. I can't say too much right now, but we're gonna come in hot. We're not gonna let up off of heads.
See that? I pause it again. But see, that's that misdirection. They do it too. Kendrick and them, they do a lot of misdirection too. I've been realizing. When Baby Keem says that, you thinking like more Keem, right? You thinking more Kendrick, and then here come Imani. And bro, this is a great fucking theory, because if they were able to shadow drop Imani like that and do what they did, because they didn't just drop and then everybody just nigga, like that shit went crazy.
Yeah,
like that shit took over the internet, bro. It was TikTok. All that it was going crazy in the music space, at least.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bruh, imagine if you wanted something. Imagine a new young New York hip hop artist coming out right now where there's nothing going on. And then, bro, and then you think about it's a lot. I don't know, bro. TDE East and bro, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, this shit's starting to add up. You cooking, bro. This is crazy.
Now here's some bonus context and kind of like a bonus theory. I think this is definitely a reach, but just for fun. If you remember Control, Kendrick had a line in Control where he said, "I'm Machiavelli's offspring. I'm the king of New York, king of the coast. One hand, I juggle them both."
Mm-hmm.
Well, look who else is on the mood board and who's damn near in the center of it. So obviously, if they have a young superstar from New York alongside himself and Keem, and they've got Amani on the R&B side, but mainly on the coast side of things, he would literally be king of the coast. So again, I think that's definitely a reach, but just for fun.
Nah, I don't think that's
so. Yeah, that's a theory.
No. First of all, great fucking video. Let me tell you why that's not a reach. Hold up, bro. It's so crazy. Like, we literally, hold on, bro. So look, check this out. Before because we definitely gonna play the next video because this shit got me locked in.
They're all pretty short too.
But look at this. I'm not trying to what's it called? Give away too much of what I got dropping soon. But look how this ain't exactly what you're saying, but look how it kind of lines up, right? So I got this theory on the new One Nation, right? Are you familiar with what Tupac was building with One Nation before he passed?
Mm-mm.
So Tupac had this idea called One Nation, right? And it was this is before Bone Thugs and all these dudes took off. It was supposed to be it was like Thug Life, but like added onto it, right? So it was supposed to be another, like a massive hip hop conglomerate from all different regions. So it's supposed to be like Bone Thugs, you had like Outkast before they went crazy. It was a whole bunch of dope ass artists, you know what I'm saying? West Coast artists, New York artists, all that. And they kind of aligned with what Tupac was trying to build with Death Row East, right? And what I was thinking was, it seems like there's a giant forming of maybe like hip hop restorationist, or however you say that word. Was it restorationist? I don't know. But people who are trying to maintain the elements of hip hop in a time where they're trying to get rid of it. It seems like there's a giant conglomerate coming together behind the scenes and like throwing out little hints at it, right? Because I think about all the Dice imagery that we've seen across, you know what I'm saying, with Kendrick, PG Lane, Clips, all these guys. And then you got Mass Appeal going on in New York with Nas and Cream. Rakim coming out with an album with Corrupt, and Jay-Z and Eminem are on it. You got all these different things where it seems like it's not being exposed yet, but it's being thrown out there. So I think it's funny that you made that connection with Tupac being in the middle and him talking about juggling the West Coast and the East Coast, because that's what it kind of feels like. Like, I wasn't looking at it from the angle of Kendrick himself, but more of a collective effort of all of these OGs, right, coming together to maintain the elements in order to preserve it for the next generation. So the fact that you adding on and you saying like there's a new, right, Gentlemen and Gangsters Connect, the agenda of mine, right? So the fact that you looking at it like from the perspective of a new New York artist, but it's actually being debuted by PG Lane, that sound like one of the cogs in a One Nation machine. That I never even like thought about that at all. Right. And then when you look at the Grammy speeches, yeah, they talking about hip hop not going nowhere, boom, boom. It really seems like there's a collective effort by, especially when you think about the music. It really seems like there's a collective effort to fight back against the attempt to silence the genre, the same way that they did, right? Doc Pick and Hos Fro, exactly. You had Doc come out, and I got it right here in my notes, but you had Doc come out at the Grammys with the pick in his hair, right? And then you had Hov come out at the Roots Picnic with his hair picked out, which probably is leading to the idea of him cutting his hair and dropping a new album. Like bro, this shit getting crazy, bro. But I just wanted to show you that real quick because I'm like, nah, that Tupac point, I don't think that's a reach. I don't think that's a reach at all, bro. Like, I feel like there's a reason Tupac is in the center of that mood board. And I feel like it's probably because Tupac is probably inspiring a lot of what's going on, especially because I've been listening to Jay-Z a lot recently. And I didn't know how much Jay-Z referenced Tupac, how much he referenced his bars, and how much of his approach was actually inspired and borrowed by Tupac, even on a business level. So it's like, I definitely, especially when you see Kendrick and company and TDE and company, you can see how a lot of the seeds that Tupac set are being used and by them. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah, and remember where Pac was born too.
Right. It's like, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, let's get to this next video, bro. This theory is fire. This is a 10. I ain't gonna lie. This is a 10 out of 10, bro.
Appreciate it.
10 out of 10 right here. Especially with the extra notes. Let's get to this too. Let's get to the second video.
Okay, so following up on my last video, we talked about how PG Lang might be surprise dropping another artist. If you haven't checked it out yet, go watch it before watching this one, just to make sure you have all the context. So the theory is that Kendrick Lamar and PG Lang have another surprise artist that they're going to debut, and that the artist is from New York with a traditional New York hip hop sound. In the last video, we identified that on the PG Lang mood board, there are 4 names written in the specific black cursive handwriting style. You got Dizzlemania for Kendrick, you've got Booman Erie for Keem, you've got Imani Ham for Imani, and then this mystery one right above the Ready to Die album cover.
Crazy.
Now, in the last video, I mentioned I couldn't really read it, and I didn't want to try and crack it in that video, but I got a reply to my tweet from Theron that says Santana Bandana.
Ah.
Now, this is the most likely one, but after some searching, I think there are 3 possibilities. So the first one is what Theron's saying here in referencing to Tana Leone, who was signed to PG Lang, and his full name is Avante Santana. Honestly, I didn't know what his real name was before the first video, and he did seem to have some label drama since his last single from 2024 wasn't released under PG Lang. But since the mood board was from October 2023, it very well could have been before any drama had started. So like I said, this is probably the most likely one.
Okay.
Now, again, I did do some searching, and I found there is a song titled Santana Bandana by Juelz Santana, who is from Harlem, that came out in 2016.
Facts.
And don't shoot the messenger, but there is a reference to Drake in this song. Juelz also had some stuff to say about the beef when it was happening, but I don't think this one is relevant to this theory, though I think it is worth mentioning.
Okay.
Now, the third possibility is another thing I found when I searched for it, and that there's another song titled Santana Bandana by an artist named Henry Martin. So as we can see, Henry Martin has 11 YouTube subscribers, and he also has 3 listeners on Spotify. So clearly this is an unknown up-and-coming artist.
Same way they did Imani Martin.
Now, if we look at the credits on this Santana Bandana song, we see that it was produced by someone named Max Mizacion. Probably mispronounced that, but that's my best shot at it. And if we look him up, we see that he is a producer from France who says he is inspired by artists like Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar, and posts all kinds of Keem and Kendrick type beats. If we go to his Instagram, we see he follows a bunch of people that are associated with PG Lang.
Hold on. You're cooking. This why, hold on. This why, yo, that's crazy. But hold on. This what makes it even crazier. This is why we got to do these live. But I like this idea right here. Right? Hold on. I like this idea. He said, Imagine Dot is featured, right? If this is real, right? He said, Imagine Dot is featured on this NY Artist album, and he responds to Joey. And his angle was, since you couldn't hold NY down, I'll do it for you. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be hella interesting right there. I ain't gonna lie. But didn't somebody say that, didn't Glass Malone say that Kendrick, that there would be some form of a response? I don't know. But I feel like that would be a great opportunity if this was the case. If there is a new artist and you do want to create that energy of like, first of all, and I'm the best. Second of all, I am here to take that space, right? Shooting at Joey would be perfect. I mean, Joey is really one of the only, if not one of the only still relevant rappers from that time, or from that represent that element of it, on that level at least, right? So I think like this would be crazy. This would be very crazy, but who knows? Regardless, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You fucking cooking right now. You cooking right now, bro.
Like the actual PG Lang page, the Project 3 agency page. I believe he also follows Dave Free, and he follows Kendrick's burner, which is kind of funny. Again, I don't think the Instagram following is a strong indicator of anything, but it's clear that this guy has a preferred sound and association. Now, there's another song on Henry's YouTube called Power of the Dollar. And this one was produced by someone named Producer Stoic. If we look him up, we see that he is a Grammy Award-winning producer that has worked with Doechii. And he produced Bullfrog on her project Alligator Bites Never Heal.
Bullfrog is crazy.
Again, I don't think that Instagram following means much, but he also follows Keem, Kendrick, TDE, Isaiah Rashad, Soundwave. Again, I don't think that the Instagram thing is really a big indicator, but I think it's worth mentioning. Now, the main question that I was left asking is, how is this completely unknown artist with 11 YouTube subscribers and 3 monthly Spotify listeners collaborating with Grammy-winning producers already? I'm no expert on the behind the scenes or business side of the record business, and I don't know if this is common practice or not, but it's pretty interesting that a Grammy-winning producer is working with a completely undiscovered artist. I'll link these tracks and his channel in the description, but I listened to a couple of them, and this dude is actually good, and the production sounds great. Now, check this out. I'm going to play the beginning of Power of the Dollar.
Yeah, seems like the older I get, step aside and look in the mirror and go on the bed. Place myself on top of the line, the wearing a vest. Got an S on my chest, not a hero, no thanks. I got scared money, invest in weird money. Wanna buy a house, move out and get money. The market's outside and it looks scares money. Asking more from me, my salary kinda lovely. Then I got credit money, it says from here, love me. Use me all you want, APR is there for me. That's how.
What did we just hear?
That beat was
That's
fucking
an
crazy.
old school boom bap New York hip hop sounding beat.
Yeah.
And Henry has a traditional New York sounding voice and flow.
Yeah.
And for a supposed brand new and up and coming artist, he sounds extremely polished, like he's been working on his craft for a long time before any major releases. And remember the last video, we said PG Lang might have a traditional sounding New York artist waiting to drop. And then if we look up Henry Martin, we see that he is from Brooklyn.
Oh,
So in all likelihood, this Henry Martin dude and these producers could have absolutely no association with PG Lang at all. And the Santana bandana track is just a crazy coincidence. And the mood board is most likely referencing Tana Leone. But let me know what you think. Could Henry Martin be PG Lang's new artist they've got cooking in the lab and connected with Doechie's producers? Or is it just Tana Leone and I just did some chief executive fry bagging? But either way, this dude's music is pretty good. So at bare minimum, we found a dope up and coming artist to check out. But drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. He said anyone got the link to this vid? Hold on, look. If you click the, can y'all see my pinned comment? If you can see my pinned comment, that's the link to bro's YouTube. You can click on it, and then it'll take you to these videos. Do y'all see it or not? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know y'all can see that pinned comment. It's there. Okay, yeah. So that pinned comment is gonna be his YouTube. Matter of fact, real quick, let's take a quick little, you know what I'm saying, little 2 minutes. Everybody go click the link, subscribe real quick, come back, and we can continue. You see what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, of course. Go ahead, hit that subscribe, man. And then come back and let's continue. I ain't gonna lie, this shit got me hooked.
Well, you know what's funny with my page? Like some people would ask me, because I got like because that part one was the first video that I posted, but like I got like some subscribers on there. I did YouTube like a long ass time ago, with like on some old shit, but
yeah. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I think what's it called? This should be scratching something in my brain. Like these theories, like, and all the like putting the piece, it be scratching like this something that's in my brain. And it's just, bro, it's just something about like putting the pieces together before it's like watching Attack on Titan. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's an anime, and it's kind of like the way that Kendrick does his stuff and the way he codes stuff is the same way that Isayama, the writer of Attack on Titan, does it. Like I'm on my 8th time watching it because I watch it with people on their first time watching it. And I'm on like my 8th, 9th time watching it. And I always find these little Easter eggs that I didn't catch last time that would have, if I was really paying attention and seen it, would have told me everything that was about to happen. So it's something about that, like it's something about the way people produce that is just like it just scratches a certain part of your brain perfectly. But I ain't gonna lie, let's get to this. Go ahead.
I just started Attack on Titan last week.
Oh, yeah. You just started it?
I just started. Yeah, I never seen it. I got some of my friends that are into anime, and they've been telling me for years to watch it. I just hadn't. But
what are you on right now?
I'm like 2 episodes in.
Oh my god! You gotta keep me updated, bro. Yeah, you gotta keep me updated because Attack. I think once you get to that, like for me, it's a. I didn't appreciate the first 6 episodes until I watched it like the 8th time.
Mm-hmm.
The first 6 episodes felt like, okay, this is a good anime. But episode 7 forward is like, bruh, it's probably the most masterful shit I ever seen, bro. It's amazing. But all right, let's get to this next one, bro. Let's get to this next one.
So this is part 3 of the...
Is Kendrick planning a New York takeover? Right.
PG Lang New York theory. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you've watched parts 1 and 2. And if you haven't, go watch those before this one so you have all the context. I will link both videos in the description. But quick summary, in part 1, we theorized that PG Lang might be surprise dropping another artist similar to how they debuted Imani Imani. And that this next artist would be from New York with a traditional New York hip hop sound. We were led there by this name and the
That
Ready to
does
Die
look like
album cover
Santana
on the
bandana.
PG Lang mood board. Now, in part 2, we found that the name says Santana Bandana, and we made some possible connections. The most likely is Tana Leone, though there is a somewhat compelling case that it may be an unknown artist by the name of Henry Martin, who is from Brooklyn and has worked with one of Doechie's producers. So after making part 2, I was looking at the mood board to see if I noticed any other patterns and any other possible New York connections. And I noticed this image in the top right of this old man wearing a baseball jersey and a Yankees hat. I did some digging and found that this is a former MLB player and manager named Casey Stengel. If we look at the jersey he's wearing, it shows all 7 of the teams he either played or managed for, and all 7 were located in the East Coast when he was with them. You've got the Philadelphia Phillies, you've got the Pittsburgh Pirates, you've got the Boston Braves before they moved to Atlanta, you've got the New York Yankees, you've got the New York Mets, the New York Giants before they moved to San Francisco, and the Brooklyn Dodgers before they moved to Los Angeles.
Right.
One other interesting note about this photo is that it was actually taken in LA. So after the Dodgers moved to from Brooklyn to LA in 1950, is that it was actually taken in LA.
Huh.
So after the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to LA in 1958, they did what looks like an old timers day in 1975, where this photo was taken. Again, probably just a coincidence, but still pretty interesting that this guy is obviously a legend in New York, was affiliated with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and then the actual photo itself was taken in Los Angeles. Now, why is this notable? Well, there's a few reasons. One is that Stengel is known as one of the best managers in baseball history, winning 7 World Series as a manager with the Yankees, and he also won 2 as a player with the Giants. He also holds the record for the longest World Series winning streak with 5 consecutive World Series wins from 1949 to 1953. You can make a parallel that Kendrick was highly successful and still is highly successful as an artist himself, and now is moving into the role of being highly successful as a label manager.
Right. And I've been thinking about that all that too. Like when he announced Imani and him talking about on what song was it? Part 6.
Part 6, yeah.
Yeah, where he was like, now it's about Kendrick. I want to evolve, place my skill set as a black exec. I jog. My memory knowing Black Hippie didn't work because of me. Like right there, it sounds like he's reflecting on the mistakes and the wins and the losses and how to take advantage of the experience that he gained from that as a label owner. So this connection is crazy because, I'm gonna let you cook. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh shit.
Another notable reason is that all 4 of these New York baseball teams, the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, and the Dodgers, represent all 4 of the main boroughs in New York City. We've got the Dodgers in Brooklyn. We've got the Giants in Manhattan. We've got the Yankees in the Bronx. And then we've got the Mets in Queens. I know Staten Island is a borough, but it's not in the city. Now, what I think is the most interesting reason why Stengel is notable is that he's the only player in Major League Baseball history to play and or manage for all 4 New York franchises. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants and managed for the New York Yankees and the New York Mets. Now, when we go back to the mood board and look at what's surrounding this photo, we see there are multiple jerseys, There's a lot of fashion inspiration, like these hoodies, outfits, shoes, like a bunch of different type of fashion inspiration that's throughout the entire board. So this very well could just be fashion inspiration. But my question is, why this specific photo? Why add a photo of an MLB manager from the 1940s on a mood board that has your plans to debut new artists? If it's just fashion inspiration, well, he's not the only person to ever wear something with multiple teams' logos on it. So why him?
Right.
Remember those jeans from back in the day with all the NBA logos on them? Right? Like, if it's just fashion inspiration,
are you too young for those, bro?
Why this?
Those, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never seen one of them joints.
For real?
With the
Bro, that was the first thing I thought.
With all the teams on it, I hate that.
You ever seen that?
I hate that shit.
Pretty sure some dude in the neighborhood I grew up in. That's why I remember them.
Oh no, nah, I just ain't seen them, but I hate those.
That's
wow.
Just fashion inspiration. Why not use that? Why this specific photo of a highly successful MLB manager who was born in 1890, by the way, who happens to have the record for the longest World Series winning streak of all time with the New York Yankees, and happens to be the only person in MLB history to have played or managed with all 4 New York baseball teams that represent all 4 boroughs of New York. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm definitely reaching with all these videos at this point.
Hell no.
If you know anything about Kendrick and PG Lang, they love to leave these mysterious and cryptic clues all over the place. But drop a comment and let me know what you think.
Hey, let's just speak on this one real quick, because I really, really like this one. Real quick before we do. Hey, shout out Uja, what's good? If Henry Martin is the spearhead of a PG Lang NYC takeover, he better be that guy. My city's not gonna go easy on him, especially not our rappers. I respect that. But I also trust, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm like 90% in. Like, if this was, like, yeah, I'm buying stocks in this theory. I'm investing in this theory for sure. But I think that's true too, just for the sake of conversation. But I also trust, like, let's say the theory is true, right? Just hypothetically. I trust Kendrick's talent assessment, especially as a rapper and as an MC.
Yeah.
I trust his assessment and what he would bring to the table. I don't think Kendrick and company would bring nothing whack to the table. Definitely not. And even if it wasn't something that was all the way there, it would be something where there's raw talent, but you can see the pieces that get to be put together in order for them to take the next level. Like the same thing with Imani Imani. Like Imani is fire, right? But you can see like the pieces that might be missing in order for her to be a SZA, or order for her to be a, you know what I mean, something of that level. So yeah, I trust Dave Free, Kendrick, and company for sure. Now, but shout out to you for Super Chat. Now, the one thing I wanted to ask you, right, was Easy McConan made a good point. Hold on. Let me find it. He just said it. He said, where'd it go now? All right, forget it. But, oh no, here you are. So he said, so does he represent Jay? How you feel about that?
Who? This Henry guy?
Yeah.
Represent Jay in what way?
Like, because I think I get what he's saying. He's saying like Jay-Z pretty much went from a player from New York, right, winning his own chips, to becoming a CEO for, you know.
I see.
Yeah, so
when you said represent, I thought we were talking like he's like represent for him. Are you talking like a parallel between him and Jay?
Like a parallel, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Right, because That's interesting too because I do think, like, okay, let's be honest, and this is my opinion, but clearly there's a form of connection, obviously, between TDE, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z. They might not they might not put it out publicly, but I think that clearly there's a form of connection there, and I think that there's something in the works going on here, and I think Kendrick Lamar beating Drake, then going on to the Super Bowl, etc., is all part of the process. I think that was the gamble. It's like you got to win the battle for all this shit to work.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but like on that note though, and it's got me thinking about too. Kendrick has collabed with Beyonce as recently as 2023. And hold on, bro, have you listened? Like, have you heard that verse lately?
I haven't heard it in a while. Nah, bro, you talking about Freedom?
America Has a Problem.
America Has a Problem, yeah. I ain't heard in a minute.
I might get it. May not get it exactly right, but he said Universal don't play possum. He's like, I'm a businessman doing as follows.
Doing as follows. Hold on. No, you know what? Nah. We got to go to that verse. Let's look into it. Hold on. America Has a Problem. In hindsight, such an interesting choice of a title too.
What else did he say too? He's like, because I'm pretty sure he was subbing Drake on that. What did he say? He said,
yeah. He said, "I'll smack." What did he say?
He said his career don't come with life insurance.
Right.
I'll smack homie or something like that. I can't remember. I haven't listened to it in a minute,
but they failed to. Yeah, some shit. I ain't heard that shit in a big minute. All right, but hold on. I'm about to pull up the lyrics. Let's get Genius. Shout out Rob Markman. All right, here we are. Let's look at this real quick. Especially all the times that Jay-Z is taking shots at Lucian and Doechii did remix that song and she went fucking bananas.
I don't think I heard that. Let me look that up.
Yeah, she went crazy. Yeah, Universal, please don't play possum. I'm a businessman doing as follows. Right. All right, here we are. All these fucking ads.
Hey, he does mention PG Lang in the first line of the first. You see that?
9/11 Sync got the genie out the bottom painting. Fuck it up. Too much complexity to learn me from. Tell me that the money y'all wants goes and I'm really on my John Puzzle and Sudoku. Yes, Geeked Up, choose love when they choose violence. Universal. Okay. Say base, yes, America got a problem. Geeked Up, choosy love when they choose violence. Universal, please don't play possum. I'm a businessman doing as follows. We could sit right here, right? And this is prior to the battle.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, this was 2022?
2023.
2023. Okay, so this is right before the battle.
Mm-hmm. This was before First Person Shooter.
It was. Huh. So the funny thing is Jay-Z also and chat too. Let us know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all spit on this too. But it's funny when you think about the Jay-Z freestyle where he's mentioning Lucian. I think it was at the B-side concert. And then you had Drake. Yeah, this was a response to that. And then you have just the little silent battle between Jay-Z and Lucian has been going on for like a long time. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, I really do think like, and I think I just dropped a theory on this on Patreon. But what I'm basically saying is that Jay-Z and Lucian have been having like a kind of Cold War type of thing, right? And when you look at it from the perspective of, when you look at it from that perspective, and you see how Drake really is, you know, Drake is at this time is bragging about his contract. He's bragging about the fruits that he's receiving from Lucian. Lucian is going on interview and bragging about how he gives Drake whatever he wants. Any amount of budget you want, you can have it because it's yours, etc. Right? And then you clearly see the alignment there, right? Kendrick and Drake are not aligned. They're on one side of the fence, and then you see Jay and Lucian, right? So clearly, in my mind, as much as we would like to be like, oh yeah, it was just a battle, for me, it feels like something that started as two guys being competitive and kind of turned into, because of how long it took to actually happen, turned into like one of the biggest gambles in hip hop history, where I think both sides were lining things up for the potential of winning this battle. If Drake, for example, if Drake were to win that battle, there will also have been a line of things that took place after beating Kendrick Lamar that were already going to be in motion after beating Kendrick Lamar. And I think the same thing goes for Kendrick, right? I think the Super Bowl, everything plays in part of that. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because if the whole thing was to maintain hip hop and preserve hip hop, because even if you look at it from a business perspective, let's just remove all the sensationalism and all the, the humanitarian type thing, right? Let's just look at it from even just a pure business perspective. You're looking from Jay-Z's perspective. This is one of his sources. The culture, the genre, we're talking about something that can expand and create generational wealth consistently in the right hands with the likes of Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, etc. So the genre being wiped out also takes a piece of power and a piece of business away from these individuals. So Drake winning that battle and it having to do with Drake winning that battle and them leaning into AI, them leaning into trying to silence hip-hop through lawsuit, etc. We're possibly looking at hip-hop the same way we look at jazz, the same way we look at country, the same way we look at rock and roll, like another genre that went to the wayside. So in my mind, even what we're talking about now was probably all a part of a bigger plan to restore the elements of this genre through New York and the West Coast, restoring New York. So if you restore the West Coast, which Kendrick Lamar has already done, and then you turn around and restore the East Coast, the two major pillars in hip hop are back surging, which would bring up those, which would amplify those elements once again. So
yeah, well, and to your point too, I mean, about how it wasn't just about these two guys being competitive. I mean, what did Kendrick say at the Super Bowl? 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
Yes. Right. And I think that's showing, like, it's even when we can go back all the way to Heart Part 3. We can go all the way back to all this different shit. Like, even when Kendrick's talking about I played a game and then what do you say? I played a game and I played a game as I planned. Like, just lines like that you consistently hear from TDE and company, Black Hippie and company. It's like they came into the industry, played by the rules, and once Kendrick got out that contract, it's been full-blown just offense. So I see the same thing with Jay-Z too when he's talking about offense. And yeah, when you come back to this America has a problem, like you said, it starts to look hella interesting. Truthfully, I'll be lying in my rap song because I always fail to mention I slap homie. His career didn't come with no life insurance. Hope his day one fans got some facts on him, right? So yeah, I think when we come back to that Jay-Z Kendrick alignment, it's been there for a minute, and you can see all these things taking place. So I ain't gonna lie, I'm putting major stock in this theory, bro. I'm putting major stock in this theory early, right? He said a revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. I'm saying, hey, Easy McConan dropped some massive shit. 2023 being the year UMG defunded hip hop to give it to international music, put this all in motion. And if you think, look, and if niggas think Drake wasn't going to be a major fucking factor in that taking place, boy, we talking about a nigga that just dropped the House album, just like, you feel me? They trying to put all the money in and no disrespect, but in the Afro beats and all this different stuff and deflate hip hop. Like, yeah, all of this shit is making sense. Drake getting knocked off was was probably the first thing that had to happen in order for this to take place. And I think that's probably why niggas is panicking. And you know these niggas can't turn away. You know, Kendrick going over there and working with UMG. The niggas can't turn down the money. You know what I mean? You can't turn down the you know what I'm saying? He bringing in the Super Bowl, you can't turn that down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So let's keep going though. Let's watch this other video. The part 4. Oh, you went back to Squabble Up?
There's some shit in there.
Oh shit. Come on. Let's get it. He said your battle stopped it all. Yep. The AI takeover. Absolutely. He said Jay-Z's about self-preservation first. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes, even when the intentions ain't there, it's necessary though. Jay-Z is definitely with that intention, but it works out.
All right. So this is now part 4 of the PG Lang New York theory as the rabbit hole goes deeper. We are going to cover 2 more significant New York connections. One is a new one from the PG Lang mood board, and the other is from the Squabble Up music video. So be sure to make sure to watch until the end. Honestly, I didn't think there was going to be much more to this after part 3, but I just keep finding shit. So here we are.
Right.
I've mentioned it in the last couple of videos, but I would suggest watching parts 1 through 3 if you haven't yet, just so you have all the context. They are linked in the description, and I do have a playlist on my channel. But in short, the theory is that PG Lang is going to debut a new artist who is from New York with a traditional New York hip-hop sound. And a lot of the clues are from the PG Lang mood board they posted in October of 2023. In part 2, we made the possible connection to an artist named Henry Martin from Brooklyn. And in part 3, we dug into this photo on the board of an old man in a Yankees hat who turned out to be Casey Stengel, a former manager of the New York Yankees, and is the only person in MLB history to have played for and or managed all 4 of the New York baseball franchises: the New York Yankees, the New York Mets, the New York Giants, and the Brooklyn Dodgers. So after posting part 3, I was looking at the board again, and with this seemingly strong connection with New York baseball in mind, this photo almost directly under Stengel takes on an entirely new meaning. If this photo doesn't look familiar to you, this is a scene from the movie The Sandlot, which is a baseball movie that came out in 1993. And as a white dude that grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s and played baseball as a kid, this movie is an absolute classic to me. So if you've never seen The Sandlot, it's about a group of kids in the LA suburbs playing baseball in their neighborhood. And the entire conflict of the movie is around the group losing their last baseball. So the main character, Smalls, borrows a ball from his stepfather's trophy room, and that ball was signed by one of the greatest baseball players in history, who famously played for the New York Yankees, Babe Ruth. One of the most iconic lines in the movie, which still gets said today, was by Babe Ruth's character when he said, "There's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die." Later on in the movie, one of the characters, Mr. Myrtle, who was played by James Earl Jones, is discovered to have been a former baseball player himself and reveals that he was on the famous 1927 New York Yankees team, famously nicknamed Murderers Row, that had Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and other Hall of Fame Yankees players. Now, there's a few more very interesting connections to New York baseball throughout the Sandlot movie. One is a scene where the kids go to a carnival and try chewing tobacco before going on one of the rides. But what's notable about this scene is that the background music playing during the entire scene is Tequila by the Champs. And the reason this is notable is because that this song was the signature anthem for the 1986 New York Mets, who won the World Series that year. So now we have references to both the Yankees and the Mets.
Right.
The other connection in New York baseball is that one of the main characters, Benny the Jet Rodriguez, wears a Dodgers hat throughout the entire movie. Now, again, like I mentioned, this movie is set in the LA suburbs, and of course, this is an LA Dodgers hat, so not the Brooklyn Dodgers. But I think it still is an interesting reference showing 3 of the New York baseball franchises and shows the parallel of the entire movie between LA and New York. I tried to find any references to the New York Giants, but there weren't any on screen. So the Yankees, Mets, and Dodgers were the only 3 teams referenced. Lastly, one of the other characters, Timmy Timmons, wears a Yankees hat for the entire movie. Now, calling back to one of the biggest pieces we referenced earlier and covered in detail in part 2 is the connection to Casey Stengel.
Right.
Remember that Stengel was the Yankees manager in the 1940s and 50s, but he was also a player for the Brooklyn Dodgers from 1912 to 1917, and he also played for the New York Giants from 1921 to 1923.
Right.
Now, during that time, the Yankees were the Giants' biggest rival at the time, and the Giants and Yankees actually played against each other in 3 consecutive World Series, all 3 of which happened to be from 1921 to 1923. So all 3 of the seasons that Stengel played for the Giants, he played against the Yankees in the World Series.
Right.
Now, the Giants won 2 out of 3 of their matchups, and the Yankees were led by, you guessed it, Babe Ruth. So Stengel and Babe Ruth actually played against each other for multiple years in a crosstown rivalry. And one other interesting note is that while Stengel wasn't a great player himself, he hit 2 game-winning home runs in the 1923 World Series against Babe Ruth's Yankees. And his home run in Game 1 was the first ever World Series home run hit inside Yankee Stadium.
Oh.
In short, I don't think it's a coincidence that the photo of Stengel and the photo of the Sandlot cast are on the board and close to each other. Now, I don't have an exact idea on what they can mean together specifically, but I think they may represent 2 opposing forces that competed against each other at the highest level to then ultimately join the same side and both build their own legacies respectively. So in Stengel and Ruth's case, they were fierce rivals as players for the Yankees and Giants. And while Ruth built his legacy as a legendary player for the Yankees, Stengel ultimately also built his legacy with the Yankees 30 years later as the only manager in baseball history to win 5 straight World Series championships.
Okay.
In P.G. Lang and Kendrick's case, Kendrick may view the East Coast and West Coast as opposing forces in hip-hop. Obviously, with Pac and Biggie's beef and the general animosity between the 2 coasts over the years. But he may view P.G. Lang as the bridge to ultimately bring the 2 coasts together. And what better way of doing that than helping create the next big New York superstar as a part of P.G. Lang? And a piece that supports this is the fact that both Pac and Biggie are on the P.G. Lang mood board. Okay, so that is the Sandlot and Stengel and all the baseball connections. But now for the next connection, we are going to move outside of the mood board and take a look at the Squabble Up music.
Real quick, before we keep going forward, I wanted to pitch something to you. Let me know what you think. It's also interesting, right? I mean, I know that Tupac wanted to do the One Nation thing, but we can all agree that, when Tupac came out of prison and went on death row, his energy was more hateful, divisive, like just on some vengeful shit, which was reasonable, right? They try to knock him off. But based on what you're saying here, right? While Tupac, I don't think Tupac was necessarily waging an East Coast versus West Coast war,
Yeah.
Especially when Tupac was saying like a lot of it was just he was also a lot of the times denouncing an East Coast versus West Coast war and was saying it was specifically about certain individuals. But when Kendrick says reincarnated with love, my Gemini twin bat powering up, like I think you making this connection just made me think about that, because I'm like, Kendrick is kind of doing the opposite of when Tupac had his rebirth as Machiavelli. His foundation was, you know, to dominate the opposite side, whereas Kendrick continuously is talking about this reincarnation, this rebirth, and being reincarnated with love in opposition. It seems like that could mean, like you said, being the bridge, being the very thing that actually connects the East Coast and the West Coast and rises them both to prominence again. Mm-hmm. So it that makes me, I think even Bodies, or whatever you want to call it, is referencing exactly what you're referencing in this video, almost. What you think?
Yeah, I mean it's interesting, and I think too, just kind of like on like now that you're kind of like talking about it in that perspective, and I'm kind of like rewatching, you know, some of this stuff that I put together, is like, I think when you think about the team, like so it's like, okay, East and West are opposing forces that then come together. It's like, all right, well, for what team? And like, what would be the parallel with what we're talking about? So like the Yankees are the team in their case, but then hip hop as a genre, as an art form, is the team that he may view it as too.
That's crazy. That's facts. Okay.
And hold on, like since you mentioned Bodies too, right. I know we've like theorized about it forever. And I actually had someone in my comments reference something about it, and I was like, I'm actually working on another video on this series, but there are 2 GNXs in the Bodies snippet.
Right. So and we were trying to figure out who the fuck coming out the second one. Who you think? You got a different opinion now?
I don't have like a name or anything, but like I think, but now since we're okay, hold on. Now that I'm thinking about it in this way, because I think for when you and I talked about it before, I think the natural thought was like, oh, is it another artist?
Yeah.
But like, what if the 2 GNXs represent both coasts?
Oh. Interesting. Don't he got bars on Euphoria about the... Oh, no, he was kind of shooting at it a little bit. But nah, that's interesting. Because it could be that. And they kind of both pointed to him at the center as well.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they're angled.
Yeah. I'll need to look into that more. But
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Bottom line, whatever we are about to witness, like in the coming years, is about to be some epic shit, bro. Whatever it is, we about to witness some epic shit in this hip hop thing, bro. Real talk. Because the level of intention, like even if all the theorizing we doing, boom, boom, all the theorizing you doing in this series, even if you're not 100% on, like I know you're at least leading into the direction that it's actually going. Like it doesn't have to be exactly what is being said for it to be a great theory. If it's leading
to look in the right direction, yeah.
Right. If it's leading into the direction, it's on to something. And I think that this is intentional. This is purposeful. I'm excited to see what you said about Squabble Up, though. Let's see.
Video. This obviously dropped when GNX came out and was released on November 25th, 2024. So 3 days after GNX dropped. I assume if you've watched this far into this video and the series, you're probably into these type of rabbit hole conspiracies. So I'd imagine you've probably seen breakdown videos of the Squabble Up music video already. But there are a ton of Easter eggs and cryptic clues in it. And honestly, I haven't watched all the breakdowns myself. But I went to the video to see if I could find any specific references to New York. And there were a few very interesting things I found. one thing that had been mentioned in other breakdown videos was this scrambled letterboard as a reference to Soul Train, and that it spells out omnia est aliquid. Not sure if I said that right, which is Latin for everything means something. So if nothing else, that makes me feel like I'm not completely insane for putting all these pieces together. But,
right.
But so again, I was looking in the video for references to New York and possible new artists, and on the board there are both. So the first one that is probably pretty obvious at this point, but it's still crazy that this was in front of us in 2024, is IMANI for Imani.
Okay.
Again, we know she was referenced on the mood board back in 2023, but here she is again being foreshadowed in 2024. Another one is referencing the board and our theory again, which is SANTANA for Santana. Again, this could be referencing Tana Leone, but there is a possibility it is referencing the Henry Martin part of the theory. Or again, even if it's not Henry specifically, it can be referencing some unknown artist from New York that they're referencing as Santana. Now, when we think back to the New York connections, we literally have one right in front of us where it says NEWYORK for New York.
Okay.
And we also have QUEENS for Queens.
Okay.
Now, where it gets even crazier is while we're still thinking about New York, specifically about New York baseball, well, first we have METS for the Mets.
Right.
And YANKEES for the Yankees.
Right.
With all this in mind, and calling back to Stengel, who represented all 4 New York baseball franchises, we now have references to 2 of them with the Yankees and the Mets in the video. Now, if we take a look at the hat that Kendrick was wearing throughout the whole video.
Hold on. Yeah, you could. Yeah, somebody said King. Yeah, it could say King too. Everything means something. Yeah, it's like yo, this is crazy, bro. Like, I know for a fact, even if you're not spot on, like, you're on to something. You on to something, bro. Real quick. Shout out to Ron Stu for the super chat. Appreciate you. The excitement for hip hop from all regions is most important for the genre. Zach, please keep digging and give us these great videos. Absolutely, bro. Look, I think the best place that hip hop can be right now is all regions getting back to the regional sound. And not saying everybody got to do that, but the core of the regions getting back to their elements, and that and the prime of these coasts getting back into those sounds and them being broadcasted simultaneously. I think hip hop is in a space where Kendrick specifically, I mean, bro, he just did stadium tour worldwide with really a super hit. Like, GNX is hip hop as shit. It's raps. It's dope ass raps. It's West Coast. Boom, boom. And for him to do that stadium tour with a genre that, or a sound of music that a lot of people don't widely accept, is breaking barriers of its own. So,
well, and to your point too, and sorry to cut you off, but like not even just the region thing, but I think it's just getting back to being excited and appreciating the fucking music. Like, the music and the art, right? Like, these videos are from breaking down music videos. They're breaking down songs. They're breaking down things that they're putting out. Like, I don't give a fuck about the charts. I don't care about streaming numbers. I don't care about whose feet. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'm this ain't fucking Keemstar shit. Like, I'm not
right.
Like the drama shit, like that's here today, and like, you know, it recycles, right? But like, bro, this shit is coming from breaking out shit that happened years ago, like, and we're still getting new shit, and it's all in the music, it's all in the art, like that. At least for me personally, like that's the shit that I like. And
that, I think that's the ultimate thing, is that, and it's honestly something that people make fun of a lot for whatever reason, but it's all still doing what hip hop's intention is to challenge the mind, challenge thought, using your brain to come to conclusions, like all these different things, like it's all of that is important. And I think that we see and I know there's been a lot of conversation around whatever, right? But if you notice when great fucking hip hop albums drop, people talk about the music.
The music.
If you notice that, like, when it's usually all about the extra shit when the album not that good.
Yep.
But when Let God Sort 'Em Out came out,
Let God Sort 'Em Out, you
had
Baby,
a mixture of both, but Cry Baby, GNX, bro, when GNX came out, the level of breakdowns, the amount of breakdowns that were going on for that album, it just shows you, like, if we can get to a point where great hip-hop music is dropping consistently, it's not having to combat with all this other shit, then you'll see that people, when people who really, like, when great hip-hop drops, people talk about it. And I think that that's where we're trying to get to. Where I think ultimately all the great music that's been coming out, if you noticed, I mean, a lot of the conversation's been around, you know what I'm saying? Been around the music. And I feel like it's because great music is dropping. So people have been able to see here and there that, like, when great music isn't dropping, like, I mean, even when you talk about Drake's project, niggas not talking about the music. Like, you not, like, even the people who've been excited for this project for the last 2 years, they're not talking about the music. Yeah. They're not doing high level breakdowns for a long time and all this different shit. It's about a bunch of other shit. And that's because it's not good. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, but when GNX drop, all types of breakdowns. Let God Sort 'Em Out drop, all types of breakdowns. Like, even Starline, like from rappers who aren't even on the mainstream level, even Starline, everything is a lot. Like, when good music drops, people get excited about it. And I think that if you can combine, which is what PG Lang is doing, the music, the fashion, the way you're producing it, the way you're introducing it, like, that's how people start. And I think even this, what we're doing right now, what we've been doing for a while, you know what I'm saying? Even dating all the way back to all of us getting on here doing the All Eyes on Me theory, and, like, we're taking what's actually being said in the music and what's being shown in the videos and seeing if we can figure it out for what's coming forward. And I don't understand, like, how there's a lot of down talk on doing that. But I wonder, like, what's a higher level of hip-hop discussion than that?
Well, that's like, I think to your point earlier, that's just like the whole anti-intellectual thing. And that's not even just, in my opinion, that's not even just like a hip-hop thing. I think that's just a societal thing. Like,
in general.
That's just, but again, like, that's remember the playbook. That's the playbook, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's how these guys get power. That's how they keep it. You know, it's like, they want to dumb people down. They want to divide and conquer. Like, that's the playbook.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I really think ultimately it's always going to come down to, and I think this is what PG Lang and Kendrick Lamar has mastered, which is why Imani can come out the fucking blue and go stupid. It's presentation. It's not it's the numbers and the charts and all that shit comes second.
Mm-hmm. It's a cherry on top.
It'll naturally cultivate what it's supposed to cultivate on a numbers level. But if you focus on the art, then everything it's all about. And that's one thing I got to give Kendrick Lamar credit for, and I actually talked about in the recent video I just dropped, is collapsing identities in order to walk into the reality that he's calling. Like, you see that in the greatest forms of the art. You feel what I'm saying? Even Imani speaks on it in a few lines in her project. Like, it seems that they all understand the importance of stepping in, calling the new reality, and then creating around that new reality in order to produce the results that you're searching for. That's why the mood board is there. That's why it's so specific. That's why it's so intentional. That's why the Squabble Up video with the board is everything. It means something. It's not just for us to consume, but for them calling for the reality and then stepping into it. So it's even outside of the music, it's just a higher level of conversation that heightens not just our ability to consume the music, but our ability to call on creating our lives. And I think that's what high-level hip-hop does. High-level hip-hop calls on you to change your perspective. It calls on you to challenge your perspective. It calls on you to reflect. It calls on you to be progressive currently. And I think that is an enemy of everything that's going on the other side of this shit. And fuck them politically, but just in general, there's energies that's being represented here. There's two sides of energy being represented. Fuck the political parties.
I make music that electrify them.
Right.
You make music that pacify them.
Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? But let's continue this video. Let's continue this shit. This shit tough.
We now have references to two of them with the Yankees and the Mets in the video. Now, if we take a look at the hat that Kendrick is wearing throughout the whole video, it's a blue Dodgers hat. Now, this does seem less relevant and more of a reach since it's a PG Lang hat and he always wears it. But I still think it's worth noting that it is the Dodgers, who are historically one of the 4 New York baseball franchises.
Right.
Now, lastly, in this scene of the video, we see this guy in the background wearing a Giants hat. I know this part of the video is a nod to the Bay Area and hyphy culture, and it is the logo after the Giants moved to San Francisco. But again, I do think it's worth noting that when we're thinking about all 4 of the New York baseball teams that Stengel was associated with, that all 4 are referenced in this video in some way.
Right.
Now, moving on to the lyrics. I wasn't the one who found this. I believe I saw it on Twitter. I can't remember exactly who tweeted it initially, so I'm sorry I can't credit. But if I do find it, I'll either show it on screen or link in the description. But in the second verse of Squabble Up, Kendrick says, "What the fuck? I got hits, I got bucks, I got new paper cuts." Paper Cut is the name of Imani Imani's debut album.
Crazy.
So he's shown that he will hint at new artists and lyrics.
Crazy.
Now, with that in mind, and thinking about New York again, well, in the intro, he says, "IP ownership, the blueprint is by me." And Blueprint is a pretty obvious reference to Jay-Z and his Blueprint albums. And I think it's also worth noting that he mentions IP, which stands for intellectual property, and ownership, which is a pretty direct reference to PG Lang and his ownership of his music and the label. Another New York reference in the lyrics is in the first line of the first verse, couldn't try me in a tri-state, which is a clear reference to the tri-state area of New York City that covers New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And lastly, at the end of the third verse, he says, "Homegrown from the west side to Senegal. It's a full moon, let the wolves out, I've been a dog." Now, a spoon is a term that means closest friend and was first originated from New York City in 1965. And there is also a neighborhood in New York City, specifically in Harlem, known as Little Senegal, which is one of the main areas for Harlem's West African immigrants. And finally, "Let the wolves out, I've been a dog," I think could be a reference to DMX, rest in peace, who is obviously from New York, and specifically one of his biggest hits, "Where the Hood At." One of the lines in the hook says, and then in the first verse, he says, either way, super dope reference to DMX. There's multiple New York references. And something else worth noting is that this is the last line in the third verse. And with the tri-state line being the first line of the first verse, literally the entire track is bookended by New York references. So this one definitely feels longer than any of the other videos in this theory. But I think that's it for now. There obviously are a lot more questions and answers at this point. But it's pretty clear that whether intentionally or not, Kendrick and PG Lang have pretty deep connections to New York and make multiple references. But drop a comment and let me know what you think.
Man, that's a fire video, bruh. Oh my goodness. Hey, real quick, let's do it again. Quick little minute or two. Y'all subscribe to bro's page. You feel me? Click the link the pinned comment. Subscribe to his page. Bruh been dropping consistently. You feel what I'm saying? So you notice some more coming. I want to keep watching these for real.
Appreciate it.
There's one more? Okay, bet. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all click on bro's page. The YouTube is linked. All right, hit that subscribe button, come back, and let's watch this last one. All right. But nah, you cooking, bro. You're cooking. This shit fire. And I remember I really do think a lot of this is to once again complete what Tupac was attempting to do. Because even when I think about, and Kendrick also references that so much in his music, like even back in the day, like I think it was one of the main things, you know, because I was a huge Tupac fan before I ever heard of Kendrick. So one of the main things that attracted me to Kendrick's music was his level of respect for Tupac. And there was, you know, other artists do that, but Kendrick did it in such a way where it was like, damn, it seems like this individual appreciates this artist just as much as I do, if not more. And the continuous keeping Tupac's image alive, keeping his ideas alive, keeping all these different things alive, even in the biggest diss track in the history of the genre, the most hyped part in the song is him referencing Tupac. After Drake disrespected Tupac in the AI joint. And for me, a lot of this feels like the influence and the inspiration has come from Tupac. Tupac had Euthanasia that he was looking to do before he passed away, you know what I mean? Which was supposed to be a multidisciplinary situation. Film, writing, music, boom, boom, boom. And you look at PG Lang is kind of following that same idea. I think what we're seeing now, or what you're referencing, is similar to what Tupac was doing with Death Row East and One Nation, right? It's pretty damn similar. So it's just dope to see Kendrick Lamar continuously, consistently keeping these legends from the past alive, from Pac to DMX to the list goes on, man. And it's a beautiful thing. This shit is amazing. But let's see what's up with this fifth one.
Well, so one thing about this too, so I think someone had asked in the chat earlier, like how long it took me and like when I made these. Bro, I'm literally doing this shit in real time, which is like kind of crazy because like I think I posted part one when I like messaged you, whatever it was, like a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And then like it kind of just went as it went, but I kind of want to say that to like lead up to this next, like the part 5. It's like, so I saw you react to that the leak that came out yesterday. Like, bro, I already had like 4 videos out when that came out. But anyway, I just want to put that comment.
Yeah, and you know, when you hit me, there was only 1 video out, and that was 5 days ago.
Well, what was funny is like when I initially hit you up, like I wasn't even planning to make a video out of it, because like that was the first video on my channel. I was like, yo, I'll just come on. I'm gonna come on to your stream and like I'll just tell you about it, you know. But then like I think you had like some stuff with your schedule, and then like I had it in my head, so I'm like, yeah, fuck it, like I'm just gonna make a video out of it, and then it kind of just went from there.
That shit, it worked out perfectly though. That's that. Hey, you gotta stay in that energy, bro, because it's gonna take you to, you know what I'm saying, where it could take you. So stay in that energy, keep creating. Real quick before we get to this next one. Shout out Uja for the super chat. We should only root for good quality growth. Leave the tourists, cloud chasers out. People who love the genre enough will tap in. Yeah, I think ultimately, I also think everybody serves their purpose, right? It's the same way where like clearly you see Jay-Z is fighting for the restoration of hip hop, etc. But you could also argue that it's for his own gain, right? In my mind, that intention is not really even, you know, it's because the ultimate goal is being purposed. So that's the same way I feel about the different sides of content, right? I think everything serves its purpose if it's in combat of the clear and obvious intent to silence and minimize the genre. And I think even on a, you know how I get, man. I think this shit is even bigger than rap. It's bigger than music. Like it's a spiritual thing that hip hop is such it's really ancient technology in my mind. Like it's really like a source that channels multiple, like it channels, how do I, like everybody's seen Sinners. hip hop is one of those things that has been created in order to channel multiple like timelines of life simultaneously all at once. Like that's what that center scene is about. Like all of the music that's been packaged and put together since we come to this country, the power in that is the fact that it accesses all of these different timelines simultaneously, right? It accesses the ancestors and calls on the ancestors. So when I think there's a level of trying to get rid of that, it's bigger than just the music. It's that at its highest level, it's some of the most unifying music out there. It's some of the most informational, educational music that's out there because it's raw and there's no rules. And so you can say what you want. You can do, like, think about all the different timeline, all the different eras that hip hop is ushered in. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like the potential of this thing is different. And I think that's counterintuitive for it to allow, right? Avatar state, right? It's counterintuitive to allow that to exist if you want to maintain control and division. Hip hop is ancient technology. You know what I mean? So it's important to silence it and get rid of this shit. You know what I mean? But shout out to Uja for that. I appreciate you, dog. Shout out to Ron Stu for the super chat. I appreciate the enthusiasm about hip hop and the theories making folks just think. Yeah, real talk. That's what I think this is about. I think at the end of the day, there's nothing better than being excited about something like hip hop. You know what I mean? Especially in today's age. Hip hop is one of the last standing things against everything that's going on right now. It's one of the last things left that has. And that's why it's perfect timing. Even with Trump being president, even all these things are perfectly existing in the same time. You got a president that represents the brashness, the attitude era of this country, which perfectly aligns with hip hop and its attitude era. And the first attitude era in hip hop we've seen in years. Everything is perfectly aligning. And I think that, you know what I mean, on a higher level, the higher ups, the people in control, they recognize that. And I think that's why they're doing everything they can to silence this shit. Shout out to Ron Stu. I appreciate you. Let's get to this last video, man.
So I was actually...
The new Kendrick leak changes everything. So this is in reference to the Boom joint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get it.
All right, so I was actually right in the middle of working on what was supposed to be the next video for this series, diving into all the other possible New York connections in the GNX album and tour. But then I saw this. So I opened up Twitter, and the first thing I see is this tweet of a supposed new leak of an unreleased Kendrick track from the GNX era. And I did some digging and found this Reddit thread, which I think is the original source. Now, if you listen to the track and look at the header, we see it's titled Boom and features J-Rock, Ray Vaughn, and a mystery artist. So if you haven't seen the previous videos in the series, I would suggest you go check them out to get all the context. But in short, the theory is that Kendrick Lamar and PG Lang are planning to debut a brand new artist similar to how they debuted Imani Imani, and that the artist is likely from New York. We've made multiple connections to New York from the PG Lang mood board and Squabble Up music video, and it mainly stems from this image on the mood board of an unknown name written in the same handwriting that Kendrick, Baby Keem, and Imani's names are written, right above the Ready to Die album cover by Biggie. We've made some possible connections to what this name could be, including Tana Leone and a Brooklyn artist named Henry Martin, but obviously nothing concrete yet. Now, there are some other pretty interesting connections from the mood board to New York, like the Ready to Die album cover right under what could be a mystery artist name. This photo of Casey Stengel, who was the manager for the New York Yankees, who holds the record for the most consecutive World Series wins with 5, and is the only person in baseball history to have played for or managed all 4 New York baseball franchises: the Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Dodgers, who represent all 4 boroughs of New York City. And Stengel also played against Babe Ruth, who was a main reference in the Sandlot movie, which is also on the board.
And for the sake of this theory, the main hypothesis that we're going off of is that all of their planned artists for PG Lang are on this board, even if they haven't debuted yet. And that was confirmed because even though this was posted in October of 2023, Imani's name is on the board, and they did not debut her until 2026. So I think it's pretty clear that this handwriting represents the names of their artists, and the board seems to be a cryptic way of foreshadowing their plans. So this must just be divine timing or something, because I've made all these videos in the last few days, and now you're telling me that there's a mystery artist featured on a new leak of an unreleased Kendrick track, supposedly from the GNX era? It's a fire track, by the way. I'll link the tweet and the Reddit post in the description. But let's take a listen to the hook.
What you gonna do when you grow up? Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get down. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it. Turn a big mouth to a Pop-Tart. It's either rock bottom or a rock star. The hate and the love go side to side. The hate and the love go side to side.
Here comes the boom, 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 here comes the boom.
Does that sound familiar to anybody? Check this out.
Yeah.
Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Boom. Here comes the boom.
All right, so if you watch part 4, you've seen that Kendrick made a DMX reference to Where the Hood At in the 3rd verse of Squabble Up.
Moon coon from the west side to Senegal. It's a full moon, let the wolves out, I've been a dog.
Know how to be one way, that's the dog.
And we saw that this track was in the movie Belly, which was set and filmed in Queens and starred Nas, DMX, Method Man, and Terrell Hicks, who are all from New York. So now you're telling me that there's a mystery artist featured on a GNX era Kendrick track interpolating a DMX track from Belly?
Here comes the boom, 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 here comes the boom. What you gonna do when you grow up? Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get out. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it.
Okay, hold on, pause it. Nah, man, I feel like I'm either going crazy or I've seen in the comments, and I'm genuinely curious your thoughts, anybody else's thoughts. Okay, so when it came out, like people were putting this mystery artist thing on there, but like you remember that bridge where it's like the singing? I'm pretty sure that's Sam Dew, and so he was on Mr. Morale. So when I was listening to it, but then I heard that, I'm like, I was pretty sure that's the mystery artist, and people were in the comments being like, oh, hey, that's J-Rock. But like that does not sound like J-Rock to me.
You know what's crazy? Well, first, okay, so this I'll give you my perspective, right? I never seen this, right? So I never seen that there was a mystery artist. My first like introduction to this was just the clip, and I knew there was a difference between I thought it was Rayvon. In my mind, I'm like, is this Rayvon? Like, I know, because I'm like, why would J-Rock do this hook twice and do it like that at the end?
Yeah, like
I don't think that's J-Rock, but in my mind, I was like, I think it's Rayvon. But now
that doesn't sound like Rayvon to me either.
That kind of doesn't really sound like Rayvon, because Rayvon verse just went like a little bit before that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so I'm like, that sounded like a whole different person. The more I think about it.
So I'm pretty sure it was Rayvon's verse, then the Sam Dew bridge, then the J-Rock hook again, and then this last part.
Right.
And I know, like, you know, people have like the different inflections and like they can kind of go up and down. I've never heard J-Rock sound like that.
Me either.
And
I never heard Rayvon. I never heard Rayvon sound like that either. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe Rayvon was just like lowering the tone on the hook. But then I was like, I never really thought about it though. I never really sat there and like thought about it. It was like a quick thing that went in my mind and then just left. Like, I was just like, oh, I think that's Rayvon, and then it just went on. But now that you're saying that there was a mystery artist on the original post, I'm like, wait a minute, like, and bro, when was the last time? I mean, besides like a while ago with like prayer and stuff like that, but when was the last time a real, genuine, like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's something there's in my mind. I've been hearing about how this song got leaked, so it kind of kills my idea. But before I had heard how it got leaked, I was thinking like, is this like a message? Is this like a some type of, statement? Is there literally some, you know what I mean? But now I'm like, damn, there was a hidden artist on this.
And like,
I don't know.
It's funny too, because when I'd seen people comment, like, to me, I was like, damn, like I must be really like deep in this shit. Because when I listened, I was like, yeah, but I don't know. I'm seeing some people like it seems mixed, but like I don't know if you want to run it back, but like that voice.
Yeah, the more I think about it, though, I'm like, yeah, the more I think about it, it's like that doesn't sound like either of them.
Doesn't sound like any of them. On a GNX era Kendrick track, interpolating a DMX.
Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. What you gonna do when you grow up?
Nah, that's not J-Rock or Rayvon. Nah, that's not J-Rock or Rayvon.
Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get out. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it.
And you know what? I even thought maybe it's Kendrick with like a pitch, but nah, the accent's not there.
Yeah.
The accent is not there. Yo! Hey, real quick. That's what I was wondering, Poetic Soul. I was wondering, I'm like, is this Kendrick like talking to people without talking to people that only they know? Like everybody's wondering, like, when Kendrick, and he's talking to them like, here I come type thing. But I don't know. It kind of felt like that too. But no, that's not J-Rock, Rayvon, or Kendrick, bro. That's not neither of them. Thought that was J-Rock doing a verse hook. The mystery artist is at the end before the last hook singing.
It could be, yeah. Well, the sing. I'm pretty sure the singing is Sandu.
So that could be the artist.
Who's singing? Or you mean
right?
Yeah,
the mystery artist. So that could be it. But y'all can't lie, bro. Hold on, y'all can't lie though. This don't sound like this. Y'all think this really sound like J-Rock?
Mystery artist.
Here comes the boom. 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 What you gonna do when you grow up? Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get out. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it.
And it's right after the other hook, so like if it was him, it's literally his voice back to back, and like it doesn't sound like
really make sense to me. But
I mean,
I think for me,
sure, but like it just doesn't sound like him to me.
Yeah, I could see the mystery artist just being Sam, like the singing. I could see that being the mystery artist. My thing is though, what about that guy?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Let's play it again. Let's play the whole thing.
I don't have the whole song. I didn't want it to get boomed.
No, not the whole thing. The clip you put up. So let's play the hook.
So this must just be divine timing or something, because I've made
play the whole song and get the live clip. Unfortunately,
these videos on a new leak. It's a fire track, by the way.
You ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get down. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it. Turn a big mouth to a Pop-Tart. It's either rock bottom or a rock star. The hate and the love go side to side. The hate and the love go side to side. Here comes the boom, 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 here comes the boom.
Does that sound familiar to anybody? Check this out.
Here comes the boom.
Right.
A DMX reference to Where the Hood At in
Moon, let the wolves out. I
saw that this track was in the movie Belly, which was set and filmed in Queens and starred Nas, DMX,
Method Man, and Terrell Hicks, who are all from New York.
Right.
A GNX era Kendrick track interpolating a DMX track from Belly.
Right.
Here comes the boom, 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 here comes the boom. What you gonna do when you grow up? Another year pass, you ain't show up.
Okay, that's 100% not Rayvon.
No.
I think I'm about 95% that's not J-Rock.
It could be. It definitely could be.
It could be,
Like,
but I'm like
it doesn't sound
95% it's not.
But then, like, okay, and this is probably gonna sound like a reach, but in context of the whole theory, we're talking about a new artist. Well, the first we ever hear of him was right when they say, "Here comes the boom." So, like, well, what's the boom? The boom's a new artist, you know.
Come on.
Your hands don't work, better get out. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it.
Nah, man, I feel.
Hey, how y'all feeling? Y'all think that's a new person, or is that J-Rock or Rayvon? How y'all feeling? Because that don't sound like none of them niggas to me, bro. And I know, because when I heard the song, that part felt off. Like, I was like I know this might have just been a draft. It might have been not finished. But I'm just like, now that you say that, right? He said that. So let's get to it. That don't even. There was no like the accent on that. Let's get to it. Like should tell you everything.
Gonna do when you grow up. Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get out. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it.
Like,
yeah,
that don't sound like. Nah,
it's like
I don't know, bro.
It's like gritty.
Yeah, I don't know. Tyler, the Creator? What? Really? Nah.
I don't think he can get that gritty.
Hell nah.
That's what I was saying, bro. I felt like I was going absolutely crazy, or like it was just divine timing. The fact that like I was because you know how these theories go. Like I was kind of just like in that headspace, and it was
yes, right.
Fresh
and
in my
the
mind.
Pieces started aligning.
Yeah, so I listened to that. I'm like, there's no way.
Nah, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That sound like when I heard this song, I actually said it in my last video, the Rebirth video with the shit that when Kendrick sit in this song talking about what he say? He said my alias, Gandhi, Gaddafi, King Tut, I'm ancient. Yeah, like even when you think about, and I'll make a video on the King Tut thing too, but even when you think about the reference to King Tut in general, like it's in reference to or what King Tut was doing was really reshaping the old traditions of the way of thinking, the way of moving, etc. in the kingdom or whatever. So I felt like, is this a strategic leap where it's just a statement being made, like letting them know, whoever them is, here I come, right? My footsteps are like, you can hear my footsteps. You don't know when I'm dropping. You don't know nothing, which puts everybody at a disadvantage. And it's like, is he just toying with niggas? Like, remember in the middle of Drake's rollout, where all of a sudden, like, those songs got deleted off of Kendrick shit, and it took all of the conversation away from the rollout?
Yeah.
Like, this feels like I'm just flexing my power and talking to you, right? But I don't know, though. I don't know. It's very interesting. But it could be like what you saying. It could be like the boom could dead be, hey, this is the final phase of the introduction of the PG Lane. Especially when you start talking about, you know, I remember when I initially thought that the dice and the cards and all that shit represented Black Hippie.
Mm-hmm.
And it represented boom, boom. It could be the four artists for that PG Lane's about to push. It could be that.
And it's
especially
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Especially when you think about how the dice ended up being Casino and all the different stuff. Like, all of this could have been promotion for PG Lane and how the new artists are about to be presented.
And a side note too, I didn't finish your whole video breaking down the Ab-Soul thing, but you remember that line where he referenced Black Hippie?
Yeah.
He said the industry, or like what he said, like industry wasn't ready for it or something. Then he said, a collective you'll never see again, fingers crossed behind my back.
And then he mentioned being tricky.
He said, a collective you'll never see again, fingers crossed behind my back.
Hold on.
And then, okay, so wait.
Hold on.
When did that Ab-Soul?
I'm about to pull that shit up.
That was a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
That came out the same day Imani dropped.
Okay, so you get that right earlier this month, and then we just happen to get a leak of Kendrick and J-Rock on a track for the first time since 2018. When he says Black Hippie, a collective you'll never see again, fingers crossed behind my back.
I didn't even, bro, I heard that, but I didn't even like process that part. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I gotta look something up real quick.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and like maybe if someone in the chat knows too. Wasn't the last song that Kendrick and J-Rock were on was Wow Freestyle, right? That was 2018. When did King's Dead come out? Was King's Dead after that, or was that the same?
King's Dead was 2018.
So both of them were in the same year.
Has it been that long?
Right. Well, because I mean, Rock hasn't dropped an album.
Has it been that long?
I mean, Rock hasn't dropped an album since Redemption, and then he wasn't on any singles or anything, and he wasn't on Mr. Morale. So we literally have not heard Rock and Kendrick on a new track since in 8 years. Then Ab-Soul says, Black Hippie, a collective you'll never get again, fingers crossed behind my back. And then 10 days later, we get a leaked track of Kendrick and Rock on the same track.
And them doing that on the same day was interesting too. Hold on, let me pull up this freestyle. I'm gonna pull it real quick. Just the specific bar. 1 second. Was it? You know what? It don't even. We know what he said, damn it. We'll need to break. All right, so he did say that for sure. And I never thought about the line where he talks about putting his fingers crossed behind his back, and he started talking about being tricky. Right, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like it was going to be a TDE, PG Lane TDE crossover. Yeah, right. And I actually got a video on that too. The PG Lane TDE takeover. And the thing is though, they dropped that on June 2nd. Right. I really do think a part of that is a planned leak. Like it feels like that was an intentional leak, but and then Punch came out talking about, man, leaks ruin great ideas. And I'm like, okay. But I don't know, because that also feels like misdirection too. That's another thing. Like TDE and all, they play a lot of misdirection as well.
I think it is.
And I'm like,
obviously we don't know for sure, but like for as long as I've listened to Kendrick, like we don't just happen to get leaks. Like that's just not
really.
It's not like you never just get a leak that's like, oh hey, this is you know, like there's always
not at least recently.
Yeah.
Not at least recently. Like I remember when Prayer leaked and there was these collection of songs. I remember Look Over Your Shoulder came out before Extinction Level Event 2 came out. Look Over Your Shoulder was on SoundCloud. There was a 20-minute SoundCloud of just straight Kendrick leaks from all eras, from Section 80 to Damn. And Look Over Your Shoulder was on there already before Extinction Level 2 with Busta Rhymes came out. So there's been leaks, of course, But as far as like real leaks that are I only think that like the only one I've experienced was like prayer, abortion money. There was another joint. But in my mind, it's like I think that was an intentional leak to send a message to whoever they sending it to, and it collides with your theory of the New York artist thing. Mm-hmm. So, man, they playing some very interesting games, bro. Like they're like 100 steps ahead of the opposition. Like it's really they're showing levels on so many levels right now. Like it's crazy. I'm even thinking about like what is the significance of June 2nd at this point? Like, why did they both drop that day? Why did we get that freestyle talking about a collective you'll never get again, and talking about and reflecting on almost like Heart Part 6-esque, and a new release of Imani Imani? Like, why did we get that the same day around the same time? Like, I don't know, man. It's getting crazy. Let's finish this video, though. This shit is getting crazy, bro. And I feel like all of this is about to unravel, like, in a few seconds. Like, it's not going to be like next year. I feel like we're about to see all this shit unravel and, like, I think this summer.
Well, and I didn't, like, put it, I didn't have it, like, scripted when I had recorded the first part of the video, but Ready to Die dropped on September 13th.
Right.
So that's just like a date to be aware of.
Yeah, and I was talking with I ain't got the video out yet, but I was thinking if there is a new Jay-Z, because I've been thinking about dates. I've been trying to like find exact dates. I never get those right. But the Baby King joint, the All Eyes on Me theory was only 7 days off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was only 7 days off. Friday 13th, and it was February 13th. It happened to be February 20th. So in my mind, I'm like, if I think Jay-Z might mess around and drop in September, right? I can see it happening on the 25th anniversary of Blueprint.
Yeah.
Right? 9/11.
9/11.
Watch the Party Die dropped on 9/11. Mm-hmm. You had Todd the Creator. My boy Merch just put me onto this. Todd the Creator had his Don't Tap the Glass emblem in the Trade Center. Right? You got Joey Badass with the TDE East joint. And then which all of this adds to your theory, by the way. And then you had Kendrick dropping Watch the Party Die on 9/11. So I'm like, with the Blueprint being its 25th anniversary and all the Reasonable Doubt anniversary stuff going on, the Blueprint dropping on September 11th would be crazy, because I'm pretty sure the day before that is the SoFi show, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. No, never mind. The SoFi show is on. Oh no, the SoFi show is October 23rd, the day before. So when is hold on? When's the Paris show? So when's the Paris show? The Paris show is on September 10th. So hold on. So the Paris show is a day before the 25th anniversary of Blueprint. The SoFi show in LA is a day before Drake's birthday. You move all that around. You got Tupac's birthday coming up. You got Kendrick's birthday coming up. You got XXX passing away birthday coming up. You got Juneteenth coming up. The reason why I don't think anything is going to happen on Juneteenth is because YG's dropping on Juneteenth.
People have speculated, though, that Kendrick might be on YG's album.
Yes. And not to mention that, I mentioned this in my recent video, Tupac's birthday is on a Tuesday this year.
Yeah, and the whole Tuesday
Juneteenth is
drop.
on a Friday this year.
September 11th is a Friday, by the way.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like we about to get like a crazy amount of hip hop over these next 4 months. Like from June to September and even October. I think, yeah, and Paper Cuts dropped on a Tuesday. Facts.
Yeah. Kendrick has shown he'll drop on Tuesdays too. He dropped Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria was on a Tuesday. I don't know, man. I really think Jay-Z is coming this year, and I think it's gonna be in September. But, and you know, like I said, I have a theory on my Patreon too that I'm thinking about bringing to YouTube, talking about Jay-Z using astrology to amplify his offense, right? Because you remember he was talking about his offense is going to be offense all 2026. He comes out on a full moon in Sagittarius to debut that freestyle. It was a full moon in Sagittarius, which is his sun sign, amplified by a blue moon, which amplifies the full moon's, it amplifies the intentions on a full moon. And then on top of that, you turn around and you hear Kendrick starts moving the second we move into the to the second phase of the Gemini season. So I feel like also it's like I would be very surprised. I would be extremely surprised with all this talk about the Gemini twin, all this talk about all these different things, if we don't get some form of Kendrick, some form of TDE, some form of whatever over this summer. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of this I feel like we're reaching a climax of a lot of the shit that we're talking about, bro. For real. But let's continue this video.
Nah, man, I feel like I'm either going crazy or there actually might be something here. I've mentioned it in the comment section a few times already on some of the other videos, that while it does seem pretty unlikely that the artist is Henry Martin specifically, I think there are way too many New York connections to ignore. Now, of course, New York is the birthplace of hip hop, is a central cultural hub for music and the arts, and was where Kendrick recorded GNX at the Electric Lady Studios. But we did reference the phrase on the Squabble Up letterboard that said everything is something. So I think that all these connections could be pointing us somewhere. But as always, drop a comment and let me know what you think. What do you think of the track? Who do you think this artist is, or who do you think he sounds like? Are all these New York connections just coincidental? Like I said at the beginning, I am working on a video covering all the other New York connections in GNX, so stay tuned for that. But drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.
Woo! I ain't gonna lie. You cooking, bruh.
Appreciate it.
Cooking, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. It's so much, bruh. I feel like this summer is gonna be one of the most epic summers in hip hop history, bro. I just got that feeling like the year of the fire. It's just so many things that point to it. Like everywhere you look, it's just so many, even astrologically, there's just so many things that point to it. We in the year of the fire horse, the year that Jay-Z decides to come outside for the first time since 2017. Like it's a lot of shit going on that just, man, bro, this shit is crazy. This theory though, I'm putting a lot of stock in this theory, bro. I'm putting a lot of stock in this theory. Y'all putting stock in this theory or what? I know I am. I got.
Yeah, kind of like I said at the end of that last one, kind of like we were talking about before, like these things aren't like designed to be exactly right. Like,
right.
It's not like, oh, hey, like every detail's got to be correct, but it's like if you're looking in the right direction with like kind of the right like sentiment and idea, like that's the stuff that I like. But I think at the same time though, like with the whole New York thing, it's like while it might not be that dude specifically, like I think it just makes a lot of sense for them to sign an artist out of New York, and then it seems that all these like clues, all these pieces are at least like pointing us in that direction, you know?
Yes. Like, yeah, the connection with the man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This shit is getting crazy. We got Jay-Z on the horizon. anybody from TDE on the horizon, anybody from PG Lang on the horizon. Right? Hey, for what they sold. Facts. Facts. The only reason I don't think anything happens is because it's going to be Sunday. But yes, there is a new moon in Gemini coming up. And look, man. I don't know, bro. I think you wanted something. I think there's definitely a new artist. I'm definitely thinking that it's probably a New York artist too. And I think that's going to be one of the phases to push that connection, that One Nation-esque type of move. I really do think that's going to happen, bro. Like, I'm all the way on board with this theory. Like, obviously, like you said, it's not obviously theories aren't supposed to be 100% correct. Theories are supposed to put you in the right direction. And I think this theory is 100% in the right direction. Regardless if it's a fact, everything's fact or not, I think it's 100% going in the right direction. And yeah, bro, really, I think I'm about to get off because I am gonna go live with We Are Deciphered and company like very soon. So I'm gonna take a little break. But yeah, as time keeps going on, bro, you feel me? Let's keep building on this shit. Let's keep, you know what I'm saying, getting on live, talking about it with the audience. You know what I'm saying? Great theory. I'm going to drop that One Nation theory very soon. I'm going to bring that Patreon theory to YouTube, the astrology theory as well. And then, bro, keep cooking, bro. Don't stop cooking. Keep cooking. When you get the ideas, keep going.
Yeah, let's like keep doing some stuff. Like I'll kind of keep an eye on your stuff too. And like we were talking on Twitter. So yeah, if we want to another one of these, just let me know.
Yeah, and we should get one in with DeVille. Let's do a three-way live with DeVille. That should be hard.
Cool.
Yeah, that should be hard. Yeah. But all right, man. Appreciate y'all for coming. I ain't gonna lie. Legendary live, low key. You fucking cooking, bro. Hey, real quick before we get out of here. Oh, hold on. Wait. Super chat real quick. Shout out Ron Stu. I appreciate you. That baseball player manager has nothing to do with Jay. It's Kendrick 5 wins from his Grammys back-to-back. Zach is cooking with these theories. Oh, yeah, I can see that too.
I don't even think about the Grammys because what he won 5 in 2024 or 2025 and 5 in 2026.
And then
right? I think
5 in didn't he do 5 before that? Am I tripping?
Well, so he got 5 off the year he didn't Not Like It. Like he got 5 off Not Like Us.
Nah, he might not have won 5 off of Mr. I think I'm tripping.
Oh,
why do I feel like there was another?
I don't think he did 5 off Mr. Morale. He got a few though.
Yeah, okay. So he might have did 3 before that. So yeah, damn, I didn't even think about the Grammys. That's crazy.
But like, yeah, hold on. Dizzlemania, Super Bowl, Grammys, Pop Out, GNX, diss tracks. That dude's on the board. 5 wins each. I might need to look into that.
It's interesting, bro. It's interesting. But hey, man, appreciate you for coming on, bro. We'll definitely do more of these. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Lamont for the super chat. Jay, bring the MJ theory. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The MJ theory ain't coming to YouTube, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's a little too bad shit. Niggas, we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that on the Patreon. We're gonna keep that on the Patreon. That's a little too left field.
One other quick thing I thought of before and I forgot, but like just before we get off, I might look into it more.
Yeah.
There's a few whacked out murals references in that boom track.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that the hate and the love go side to side.
Facts.
And then I remember he said something at the very end, like the very, very end. I can't remember exactly. There's a couple though. I'll need to like go through his verse, but like
it's crazy how like I think I've only heard that verse about 2 or 3 times. What was the Gandhi could know. Oh, he said, "I go plate my chalices, winner take us all." What was the bar before that?
Black Vans and Dodger Pits.
If you him show me.
If you him show me.
Which is crazy. If you him show me is crazy. I posted a video on Twitter, and people didn't understand why I was reacting to them bars that way. And I'm just like, yeah, niggas don't get it, man. As a battler myself, like a lot of the times
he was
not even
punching
about
that whole verse.
Yeah, and a lot of times not even about punching. Like sometimes it's just a nigga say some shit that's just so like poignant and like it don't need to be a punchline. It don't need to be a bar. But some people don't get that because like niggas only listen to fucking Drake and Lil Wayne. So like they used to niggas just with Instagram bars and Instagram like. But every bar don't need to be that. Sometimes Jay-Z, bro, going through Jay-Z catalog, he like the master of that. Where like he'll just say some shit that's not even a bar or nothing, and it's just crazy because he's saying like
it's just slick, and it could also like slick. It can set up a scheme later on too.
Right, like for him, like on You Don't Know, where he's talking about the placing of you are now you are now. I said for one, it fits in what is it? 18 months. 80 million more. You are now looking at a smart black boy. Like
add that number up to the one I said before.
That bar itself is crazy because he's connecting the same exact scheme he did earlier, but it's storytelling of his growth. And when I posted that, some niggas didn't get, bro, how is this crazy? You not niggas, because you're not listening the same way I'm listening. That's why you don't get it. You don't get why him saying if you him show me is crazy. I think he talking to Cole. I think he talking to Drake. Y'all running all y'all, but like if you really him, let's get it.
Well, and like when you tie it back, like it's a multi-level scheme. So what did he say? He said Dukdov, my alias. What he said? Gandhi, Gaddafi, King Tut, I'm ancient, right? But like those three guys, those are like that's him. Like that's the guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you could look at each of those people like, oh, hey, like that's like a central figure on their story, you know?
Right.
So like he like ties it back. Yeah,
exactly. It's like he, as he always has, is basically saying in that image, he's saying, I'm him.
Yeah.
That's it.
But he just did it in a way that like we've never heard.
It's
before.
crazy. Exactly. And it's so simple and it's to the point. And actually, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. That's off topic. But I had posted a video of me rapping one of Kendrick's verses, and it went crazy on Twitter, right? And one of the main comments that people were saying was like, Kendrick's lyrics aren't as tight or he's not as lyrical as he was before. But in my mind, I think it shows a level of excellence in his ability, actually. It shows more excellence in his ability than it did before. Because now he's able to get that same reaction out of you without all the extra shit. That, to me, that's a higher level of ability. That's just my opinion.
And I think that shows that he studies a lot of prolific writers and not even just like songwriters, like authors and like public speakers, shit like that. Because like there's a lot to be said about saying a lot with a little.
Yes.
Like if you need a bunch of different words and a bunch of different things to like try and get a point across, like you're probably just not a great storyteller. You know?
Exactly.
But it's like if you can piece together your story concisely and make it punch and not that many words, like I agree with you. Like I think that shows like a higher level of songwriting.
Yes. So in my mind, a lot of people say Kendrick is out of his prime. Even Kendrick, some of Kendrick fans, they feel like Kendrick. I think Kendrick is better than he's ever been right now. Real shit. I think Kendrick is on a level right now that he's never been on. Like the level of mastery that he's showing and his ability, he's never shown this level of mastery before. We're talking about somebody who can literally, he's found a way to say something that doesn't count on a point system, but it hits like it counts on a point system consistently. He did it all throughout GNX. The whole album is just him. And he said in the beginning, this is not for lyricists. I swear that's not the sentiment. He's doing what Jay-Z had always did, where he honestly wasn't doing that on Blueprint 2. On Blueprint 2, Jay-Z was losing his fucking mind. I think, in my opinion, I think his best so far, going through his catalog, his best rapping is Volume 3 and Blueprint 2. But on these other albums like Blueprint and all that, he's not even going crazy lyrically. But it's so much potency in what he's saying. And I think even when we talk about the Blueprint 2 song, where he's talking about just because Just because he wear a kufi, it don't mean that he right. Just because you don't understand him, it don't mean that he nice. It just means you ain't getting all the bullshit that he right. Like that in itself is literally painting a picture of the mastery that it takes. And even what bro was saying right here on Poor Man's Dreams, like yeah, some rappers using big words to make their similes curve. My simplest shit be more pivotal. I remember when I heard that as somebody trying to get better as a rapper, and being like, damn, like that's why I love Tupac. That's why I love Sugar Free. That's why I love, you know what I'm saying? Because they have the ability of doing that too. But yeah, I think Kendrick currently is in his prime and is on a level that he's never been on, like as far as doing this shit. You feel what I'm saying? He sounds more like a seasoned general. Like even in that boom verse, there's an aura around his lyrics and that he's embodying. Like, okay, I'm on top of the game, and this is gonna be my embodiment, which is why I make those comparisons to King David. I make those comparisons to even he's doing King Tut. Like, it's not that he's literally these guys, but he's embodying what it is to be on top of a metaphorical kingdom in hip hop and is embodying that. And that's why it's coming across in that way. So, yeah, anyway, I'm done with that rant. But let's read these last super chats and we're going to get out of here. Lamont, is Gaddafi a Tupac reference? I think he said Gaddafi. Yeah, I think he's talking about Gaddafi.
Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Gaddafi. But shout out to you, my boy. Shout out to Ron Stu for the super chat. Zach, keep making videos. I'm hooked. You're doing great work. Absolutely, bro. Keep cooking. Keep cooking, bro. These videos are fucking phenomenal. All right, before we get out of here, the pinned comment is his YouTube. Make sure y'all tap in. Go subscribe, bro. Show some love. This is high quality videos, in my opinion. And these are some of the best theories I've been seeing, bro. These theories are fucking phenomenal. So y'all tap in. Before we get out of here too, tap in with the Patreon. The Patreon been going crazy. I appreciate everybody that's on there, man. It's been an amazing experience. I dropped 4 reactions yesterday. I reacted to the Absol Freestyle, YG's track. I reacted to Blueprint 2, and I reacted to the Boom Leak. We'll be reacting to all the upcoming albums. Crybaby's on there. I got Imani's project up there. I'm gonna be listening to YG's album on there. Going back in time and listening to classics. I got a series coming up after Jay-Z's done with some classic album from Tupac. We eventually gonna go through Kendrick's catalog again. We're gonna do a lot on there on a music tip and don't gotta worry about the extra copyright shit on YouTube. So tap in with the Patreon. It's only $5. $5. You know what I'm saying? So if you want the theories, it's $8. And remember, make sure you're reading the tiers, y'all. There's been a lot of people saying like, damn, I signed up for the 8 tier and I can't get the 5 tier. But that's because Patreon doesn't allow you to sign up for multiple tiers at once. You can only do one at a time, which is, I ain't gonna lie, which is incredibly ass in my opinion. But if you want the 8 tier, that's specifically for theories. If the 5 tier is for all the other shit. You're getting way more shit on the $5 tier. Way more. Music reactions, random, all that. So if you want that, get the $5 tier, not the $8 tier. If you want to give me more money, that's cool, but just do that through a gift so you're not being taken out of the Jay-Z reactions and all that. $5 tier is where the Jay-Z reactions is at, all right? But hey, bro, it was nice having you. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for coming up. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep cooking, all right?
100%. Appreciate it.
I'm going to fuck with y'all, man. Y'all have a good day, man. And y'all tune in. Y'all tune in to Decipher. It's going to be me. You know what I'm saying? We are Decipher. Glasses Malone's on there. BK on there. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a movie tonight. You feel me? So pull up. It's about 2 hours from now. I'm going to catch y'all, man. Tap it with the Patreon.